The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Thursday, May 26th, 2022, and this sports show shall begin now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us here on this glorious Thursday. Hope your life is good. We have a lot of things to chat about today. Not a normal day on the show.
No, not really.
Okay, because we have two guests from two sports that aren't our sport joining us today.
That's right.
How about in about 27 minutes, Big Greg, Patty Maroon coming on the show.
Hell yeah.
Tampa Bay Lightning stud, obviously a monster, has won the previous 3 Stanley Cups. First with the St. Louis Blues, his hometown. Then the last 2 with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now the Tampa Bay Lightning are looking to go for 3 straight after they just swept the Florida Panthers. Big Rig will join us in about 26 minutes or so.
Okay.
Big Rig.
Hey, first time talking to him. Never met him. Legend.
Yeah, weapon.
Won a lot of games recently.
He's going for 4 straight Stanley Cups. This guy, like the New York Islanders back in 1979 to 1983.
Okay. Good
It's
squad.
unbelievable.
That's what Patty Maroon's trying to do. He's trying to tie the Islanders of 1979 to 83 to fucking win 4 straight cups. This guy gets on your team, you win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
So we might be winning a Stanley Cup, boys.
Here we go.
Hey.
Seems like he's joining the show here in a little bit. And then Tim Howard, greatest goalie of all time. Man who has a World Cup record with 15 saves in 1 game. Former United States goalie, Manchester United goalie, Everton goalie, an absolute soccer stud. Tim Howard will join us in the second hour, because soccer's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
This weekend.
Champions
League final.
Yeah.
Who will be the champion of the Champions League? Will it be Liverpool?
Hell yeah.
Who looks to win their 3rd trophy of the year? They could have won 4, but instead Aston Villa choked it away.
Come on, Villa.
Or will it be?
Real Madrid, it will not.
Of course.
Okay.
Benzema?
Of course. Then there's obviously rumors about, maybe Messi coming to the MLS,
Right.
the state of the United States soccer. We got a World Cup coming up that we're going to win. Sorry about it. Soccer Lombardi's now ours, pal. Cannot wait to chat with him. AJ Hawk will be here. Your phone calls on the 5RNG phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. The Talks the Table is here looking fantastic. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Boys, how you doing?
Pretty darn good. Like I said, not a normal day. I'm very excited for both these conversations. A little rainy out, but I'm glad to be here.
It's a little rainy, but we're a little rangy. Okay.
That's right.
Well said.
We are tapping into sports that aren't our sports and hopefully going to generate and garner some incredible conversations about them and learn even more to make this show better.
Hell yeah.
Isn't that what we're trying to do today, Boston Connor?
Just trying to get better every day. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't matter what you're doing tomorrow. All that matters is what you're doing today.
How good can this show become from these conversations today? Tenfold.
That's right.
Very good.
That's right.
Because whenever we talk hockey, we only talk about 4 teams. Okay, look at this. Go Boats. Coming into the conversation. We're about to learn more about them than any of the teams that we've talked about all year.
Without a doubt.
Brand new
Quickly.
team.
Very quickly.
Has anybody else come on our show from any of those teams that we've talked about all year? No, fucking
I don't
go
think
Boats.
so.
That's right.
Go
Go
Boats.
Boats.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
AJ could have got Jack Johnson, but he refuses to help the show.
Well, Jack Johnson is still in the family, though. So you
Yeah.
have to remember that
Right.
Jack Johnson is in
Need
the
to keep
family.
him close.
Let's not bury him.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Just in case.
Yeah, just because if they do win, we would like to be invited to the Cup celebration.
Yeah, no, Bear and AJ, not Jack Johnson.
Of course.
Correct, yeah.
AJ, not JJ.
Yes.
But Big Rig coming on the show. Go Boats.
Go
Go
Boats.
Boats.
Had a house down in Tampa.
Yeah.
The last run that they had. Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Boats.
Same neighborhood as fucking Steven Stamkos.
Go Boats.
Boats.
Fist bumped an old man every time I went in and out of the gas station, even though it was COVID time, because they had Tampa Bay Lightning hat on, which the entire city did, and said,
Go Boats.
I mean, we are all the way in there.
Yeah, they love their Lightning down there.
Hey, go Boats.
Go Boats.
Getting a lot of rest time here now, too, since they swept the Panthers, who won the President's Cup championship.
Yeah,
Best record of the in the regular
Isn't that
season.
thing President's Trophy?
Yeah, of course, the President's Cup.
Yeah.
It's a fucking piece of metal, Rob Manfred call it. Go Bucks, though.
Go
Yeah,
Bows.
go Poach. And Avalanche, just in case we get to.
Yeah, go Fs.
And
Go
Avs.
Fs.
Go Avs.
I mean, the Boats have a potential upcoming opponent of the Caniacs. 20,000 of them.
Yeah.
A little boozed up down there in Raleigh going banana land. I mean, that is potentially on the other side of this series that is currently tied 2-2. So at least a couple more games that the Boats get to rest and relax and get healthy while the Rangers and the Caniacs battle it out to see who's going to have to stare down the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. I mean, what a time to be alive. Can't thank the big rig enough. Speaking of thanking people, Tone, your gambling lately has been a fantastic, pal. Congrats to
And
you.
maybe Tony.
Thank you, Pot.
Way to go. Now, I didn't know, while I was saying that sentence, I didn't know if it was true or not. So I am happy to hear you're on a heater right now?
Here we go.
You're on a heater right now? Is that
Monday was very good. Tuesday was very good. Last night was 500. So
still
Very good.
Very good
Yeah.
week. What are we doing today? What are we betting on today? And why were you 500 yesterday? Is it because Victor Oladipo? Yikes.
Oh, wait, no.
Christ. Can't
What
even
happened?
thank you for reminding me.
Dude, there was a couple bonuses I took. Jason Tatum and Jimmy Butler to score 7, I think, in the first.
Yeah.
I think the entire starting lineup for one of the teams only had like 7 points or something like that as a total.
Miami.
The bench was scoring for everybody.
Tatum also had 0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, so I mean, I got completely bamboozled whenever I looked
Sure.
at that because I thought this was a game that both those guys are going to want and want to go get, especially with how that series has gone, just completely upside down. Who's winning? We don't know. Why is this team winning? They're supposed to be having COVID issues. Well, they're on top right now until then. The Celtics win by 40. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on in that series? None of us know. But Oladipo, what happened? I remember when he was here in Indiana playing for the Pacers and for IU. This is my city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the All-Star game. He was in the dunk contest. He was doing all that stuff. And then, I mean, I have not watched this series enough, obviously, apparently. I knew Oladipo was with the Miami Heat. I thought from the chatter, though, that Victor Oladipo was all the way back. Pumped about it. Pumped about it because I've
Sure.
seen him do
Right.
it. I watched him on back-to-back possessions last night put up some of the worst shots I've ever seen in playoff basketball.
Yeah.
Is that what? Is he hurt? Are they all hurt? Is
well,
everything going on? What's
I-
wrong with the team? Are they just tired, winded?
You said you haven't watched the Eastern Conference Finals much. It's probably a good thing. It's probably the worst Eastern Conference Finals of all time.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you
Like
saying that
each-
as like a fan or a gambler?
Fan.
As a fan.
Each
gambler.
game's
As
been
a champion
blowout.
of the sport.
Each game's been a blowout, and then like when it was close last night, it was just because neither team could fucking shoot to save their lives.
No fun to watch.
Zero fun, sir. I think it was 70 points scored in the first half.
I think I got Horford over. He was at 9.5 or something like
Yeah.
that. Felt
He
like
did have a
you
good
talk
game.
about him a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, that's probably a good bet. That seems like a low over-under
Yeah, I
for
think he
somebody.
got 16 last night. He
That's what I'm
actually-
talking
Great.
about.
Here we go. Wow. He played very well.
And then there
Celtics
was-
won, yeah?
Yeah, Celtics won by 13.
Motherfucker.
Speaking of getting burned by boost.
There was a 15 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that bet as well.
They were up 17, and then both teams put their reserves in, and then they only won by 13, so that boost also got slaughtered. But no, Victor Oladipo, he was probably their only good player in Game 4. I think the starters combined had 18. I think Oladipo on his own had 18. But he's definitely not what he was with the Pacers because he's coming off the bench now. He's like their 7th man, really, because Tyler Hero, who's hurt, who's won 6th man of the year.
Hey, I did see last night. He looked super cool in the corner of the court.
Yes, he did.
That
looked
was one of
awesome.
the coolest
Yeah.
looking looks I've seen on. I think he had sunglasses
He
on.
did.
He looks so cool at the corner of the court there. Is he out for the rest of the series?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, when you watch, everyone's fucking hurt. Like, Jimmy Butler doesn't look like Jimmy Butler. Tatum obviously has a shoulder. Smart's got a foot and a shoulder. Like, if I was on the Miami Heat or a fan of the Miami Heat, I'd be saying, what the hell is going on with Tyler Hero? Because everyone's banged up right now, and that's why we're scoring 70 combined points.
well,
in
is
the goddamn-
DJ Khaled saying anything or not?
I don't
a good
know
question.
if, again, is in the building or not.
No, he
because-
was.
He might actually
was
be
there last
shooting
night.
better than them right now.
He had a mask. He had a mask that was this big. It was awesome.
Eyebrows to chin.
Well, it
Just
seemed
about.
to be the largest, very professional. I was like, oh, so everybody must be wearing masks down low. That must be the rule or whatever
Yeah.
because they bounce around. I think Jimmy Buffett was there. I think they showed, obviously, DJ Khaled. And I was like, oh, everybody, okay. So just like when we were in Miami in that arena, there was a lot of mask mandates that weren't at any other arenas. So, Florida, I didn't expect that. It was kind of something
Not at all.
still happening. And then they cut Alex Rodriguez, and he's no mask, just chilling, having a good time, looking at his phone, look miserable.
Yep.
Is it because the team that he owns isn't in this, is out, or is it because it was hot, uncomfortable, he was wearing a suit down there? We don't know. That's TBD. But seeing DJ Khaled there last night, if he's not on the horn asking what's going on with the boys, I mean, are they really Heat fans anymore? I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, Khaled, too, is really good friends with Eric Spoelstra. He was giving Spoelstra a back rub during their last series, passing the ball back to the ref.
Well, I think him and Bam Adebayo were they've been on jet skis together.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've seen. He is part of the team almost at this point.
Yeah, they love Khaled down there.
And did you hear before the game the bangers that they were playing? They had a Rick Ross song straight into a DJ Khaled song.
Ooh.
I mean, that arena, I don't know if Pitbull got a chance to really get in there.
I was going to say,
5?
that might actually be what they're missing. You bring Pitbull, and I'm not so sure they don't wrap off fucking 7 wins in a row and take this thing home.
305. He's Mr. Worldwide.
Well, he outgrew it, he said.
Yeah.
But
Always Mr. 3.
he's all at the.
Where'd you hear the music at?
It was on TV. It was playing through on the.
On the pregame show or right before?
Countdown show. Yeah.
Countdown
So
show
you just
was
listened to
sick.
the music and know what they were saying?
Man, what's your deal? I was hoping to learn more about what was going on in the game
Me
from
too.
that show.
Yeah.
Because there was alleged potential, maybe reports coming through from Boston.
Right.
That was getting picked up by other verified accounts before we even
anything.
allowed you to.
Yes.
Connor comes out of the bathroom one break yesterday, says, I got news. And from who? And he tells us who it is. And immediately upon the name being announced, we say, okay. We cannot.
Boston
Understandable.
Garage 69.
Basically, yeah. It
Sure.
was basically Boston Boner Garage. Yeah, that's exactly what it was almost. And this guy knows, though. Connor says. This guy knows. Comes in here as we're talking about it right before we go live, and we're like, that's a pretty big deal. This is a pretty big game. Can't talk about it. So then as we're kind of going through our show, I think we're still live, and I get a text from you or whatever, or a text into the group. It's like other verified accounts are basically saying something fishy's going on. So then we said, okay, here we go. Connor,
Let it eat.
please now let the world know what your maybe potential breaking news is from a source that nobody else in the room trusted but you.
Yes.
Whatever came to be of that, didn't know, still don't know, watched Countdown show.
Still don't know.
Have
to
no
mention.
idea, not a single thing. Like, who's hurt, who's going to play, who's at 30%, who's powering through. And I'm just strictly doing that because I would like to gamble on it because I was, after that Justin Thomas hit the other day, I've been kind of hitting on things I know nothing about, just like that Justin Thomas thing the other day. So I'm in a good thing. So I'm trying to pick up a little piece of information. I mean, it was tough. I understand the world has a lot of very important things going on.
That's right.
But sports is celebration. Like, hey, it's sports. Like, the world of sport is what brings everybody together, I thought, And it's just like, is fucking Jimmy Butler going to not – is he going to airball a layup tonight because he's potentially hurt? Is Victor Oladipo looking to repeat what he just did in the game, or is Victor Oladipo potentially hurt? Is what I would like to know that. Didn't learn anything.
No,
not at all.
If we would have known last night it was going to be one of the most boring, worst games to watch of all time. Like, if I could have got some sort of indication, like, hey, everyone's banged up, this one's going to be tough to watch, that would have also been nice.
The world is a crazy one because Trey Lance, allegedly, speaking of injuries that are just kind of leaking out now, allegedly, it is being reported that Trey Lance had a broken finger last year, so it affected his grip, which affected his ball, which affected his flight, which affected probably everything he was doing. And I assume he just kind of powered through because he was a rookie and they traded 3 first-rounders basically for him. That's a lot of pressure, and you can't just, I got a broken finger, so you're out. But a lot of people are assuming that affected him mightily in the football game. Yeah. And if you hear what George Kittle has said about him, and then obviously the team is super supportive and behind him, what if Trey Lance is a guy? Now, there was a report going around the internet that people were betting at a large clip, I guess would be the right way, Trey Lance MVP. And they thought it was potentially because the broken finger thing that came out, and then what George Kittle said, and then what has been repeated by everybody about what Trey Lance could become. It was because I think one sports book put like very long odds on him very quickly. And basically all of the sharps were like, well, if they're going to fucking give us a starting quarterback at that odds, we might as well bet it. So there was a little bit of a narrative like building like, oh, this is becoming the sharps and the gamblers guy. Like they must know more than other people. And then George Kittle, what he says is like, oh my God, is this fucking the next Patrick Mahomes situation here with Alex Smith? It might be. I honestly... I'm starting to turn my entire thoughts on him because I have nothing but respect for George Kittle. I have nothing but respect for his thoughts on what he thinks will make the Niners better. He's been there. They've lost in the championship numerous times. If he thinks that Trey Lance is worthy and he thinks Trey Lance is a cool enough guy to invite to tight end university and he's comparing him to Josh Allen, it's hard not to just be like, well, is George a fucking idiot? No. Does George not know football? No. Does George not care if they don't win the Super Bowl? No. So it's like, all right, if George is saying it and we're learning that he might not have been anywhere near his best last year, fucking good on you, Trey Lance. Good luck out there. I'm excited to watch this whole thing.
It seems like a lot of times when these guys do explode and have a really good year, like this is kind of like he wasn't healthy last year. Everyone was kind of saying he stinks, but he's big. He's got a huge arm. He can run.
Upside.
Yeah, a lot of upside. I feel like that. I mean, and I'm not saying that he is Josh Allen, but you remember like Josh Allen, again, he had to, but like his rookie year still, like the way he was running, he
jumped over.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Like
Middle
linebacker.
Anthony Barr.
That was the highlight of Josh Allen's rookie year.
Yeah.
Him jumping over Anthony Barr, who's massive dude. And everybody's like, can this guy throw?
Right. But like the athletic upside almost takes him far enough where if you do have a good team around you, like he could have a fucking incredible year.
What if the Niners go, huh? The Niners have gone. The NFC West is always going to be a problem. Everybody's hunting them. But if they figure out the Debo situation, which could happen, right? If you trade Jimmy G.
Yes. Opens up some room.
It's like $20 million, right?
Yeah.
That kind of opens up. Maybe you're able to pay Debo at the time. And Shanahan has come out and said on the record, like the shoulder surgery for Jimmy G obviously slowed down the entire trade thing. And if it happens afterwards, it happens. And if not, we'll figure it out, is pretty much what he said. But they've been very open that they're trying to trade Jimmy G. Now, with Jimmy G and Baker Mayfield, a lot of teams are hoping that the teams will be paying the salaries for the upcoming year. Like Baker Mayfield, $18.5 or $19 million. Allegedly, the Carolina Panthers, the Seahawks, and maybe some other teams. We have no idea if that's real or not. We're just telling you what's being reported. Would trade for Baker Mayfield if the Cleveland Browns would pay for it. I think Jimmy G is starting to fall into similar territory where people are like, well, you'll pay for 50% of this at least, because I think it's 21 or 22. I forget what it is.
Yeah, it's right around there, but isn't the dead cap so low to the point where it's like if no one wants to
cut him.
Yeah, why wouldn't they just cut him and let him pick the team that he wants to go to? Obviously, you want to get something in return for the quarterback that you paid and has taken you to NFC championships, but if some other team isn't going to pay the contract, are you going to be on the hook for that much money and not be able to pay Debo?
And if you cut the guy, it's $0. You pay Debo immediately. And is Debo and the Niners already discussed that? And is that why it's gotten very quiet from the Debo side in the entire not being happy about it or whatever? Torrey Dondi, we haven't heard from the agent of him. Is that already something that's just been kind of agreed upon? Just like it kind of sounded like with Steve Keim and Eric Burkhardt when we had Steve Keim on yesterday, GM of the Arizona Cardinals. He was like, like July to like September, when we're looking at the combine, we're looking at the draft, we're looking at our team, we're looking at our decisions. That just the timing almost. And he pointed at a couple of the other quarterbacks that have gotten massive deals in that same time frame. And I think it's because it takes a lot of attention to get that. Like, hey, it's going to take everybody's attention to get this deal done. It's going to be a couple $100 million deal. There's going to be some things that we have to get in here. Right now, our focus is on something else. So I wonder if Debo and the Niners have had that conversation. I wonder. You would think they would have had to.
Yeah, absolutely. And can't you kind of, because of the fact that we always talk about, like, when you have a good, and we don't know if Trey Lance is going to be good, but when you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract, you can kind of backload some of these deals. Like, even if they do have to pay, let's say, half of Jimmy G's contract, can't they just put, most of Debo's money next year and the year after?
Well,
it guarantees, though.
Jadeveon Clowney signed a one-year deal worth $14 million or whatever it was, right? Whatever, $11 million deal. Okay, that's what was being reported. 1 year, $11 million. Turned down $14, $15 million a year, multiple year offers.
Yeah.
This is a 5-year deal, okay?
Yeah.
It's a 5-year deal worth $11 million with 4 voidable years at the end. So the cap hit is a total of $7 million, and they're able to sneak out $4 million extra bucks to have to pay whoever they are going to bring in or have to pay. That is what is so absurd about contract reporting, which is why the whole Aaron Rodgers contract news break in coverage was so interesting, because it was what it was actually like. The actual deal is a 1 year, $11 million deal. That's the actual deal. But it is, the way they framed it was a 5 year with a 4 voidable year thing that they can pan out the salary cap hit on. And this is what we have been talking about the entire time when we say salary cap is not real, because this voidable year thing is being used as a tool by everybody.
Exactly. And the exact numbers on Jimmy is $25.5 million that they will save if they release or trade after June 1st.
So, I mean, it's May 26th.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, they saved that pre-June 1st, too. I don't know why I said it like that.
Oh, okay. Well, post them pre-June 1st, 2 different deals. You're probably just reading from one column, not a big deal. But trade is what he keeps saying.
And Shanahan said, like, if you have a starting quarterback in the NFL, you're not just going to release him. Like, you want something for him.
Yeah, until
Yeah, that
we
contract.
need that 25.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jimmy. We tried, man. Yeah. I mean, this is probably better for you, actually. You get to pick where you want to go. But
Correct.
we had a couple people offer. Listen to what some people offered, like a third for you. Think about this team. If you want a third, remember the third round for Jimmy fucking Garoppolo, a third rounder. Fuck it. We couldn't do the deal. So sorry about it. Have a good one. We just saved $25 million. Miss Precious, Torrey Dondi,
Here we go.
Debo. We need to make a deal. Let's
Dahn.
do that immediately. That's probably all going to take place here over the next couple of weeks, I assume.
Do you think he was Jimmy G was just fucked from the get-go then? Because like with the timing of his surgery and everything, like they're really
No. I think back whenever there was a quarterback magic
Carousel?
happening, I think he would have been in a conversation, especially like with the Colts maybe. Because Matt Ryan, remember, he didn't want to look for other options until Deshaun Watson allegedly became super real for the Atlanta Falcons. And he told his agent, he told us this, I think, and he told his agent, like, all right, let's start looking at options. And the Colts became an option. If Jimmy G's 100% healthy before that, do you think the Colts pulled the trigger before then, after they got rid of Carson Wentz and had no quarterback for a couple weeks or whatever? You know, I don't know. You know, that changes.
yeah.
That changes everything. And then who would be looking at Matt Ryan? What a wild offseason it was. It was a wild fucking offseason. And if Jimmy G was healthy, it would have been, I think, a little bit more wild. I think that add another name to the whole thing.
And the Colts wanted a healthy quarterback, too. That was kind of their thing. So even if he didn't have his surgery, they knew that there was something going on with him, right?
We thought Jimmy G was maybe going to be a Colt. And then when Frank Reich said, we're looking for our quarterback to be here for OTAs and be fully healthy, it was like, whoa, okay. Jimmy G, not.
not.
Not in the shoulder surgery, obviously, was the deterrent for them. Matt Ryan, it feels like, is a perfect spot. And the Colts seem to be incredibly pumped about Matt Ryan. And if you see, and you're watching, you saw a little glow come to my face halfway through that sentence. Because the Colts have some breaking news over the last 24 hours.
No way.
Yeah.
Kenny Moore?
Here we go.
No, Kenny Moore is not at OTAs. He's pissed. He's got 3 years left on his deal. He does want more money. I'm excited to see how that works out, because Kenny Moore, hell of a fucking player.
Yeah, dog.
And in the community, fucking great.
Yeah.
Yes, great.
Beloved in the community. This is like one of those pillar-like players.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Ballard's saying, hey, we signed him to a long-term deal whenever he was young. He was like in his second year when he signed like a 5-year deal or whatever. So there's probably a little bit of a conversation about how that whole thing worked out. But this guy, being reported by Joel A. Erickson, Kenny Moore II's absence from OTAs this week is intentional, source says. Moore II is upset and feels like he's underpaid given his importance to the Colts defense. Hey,
Valid.
this dude is a dog for the Colts. I mean, Moore is scheduled to make $6.75 million next year, $8.245 million in the final 2 years of his deal. He's got 3 years left. I mean, it's going to be tough.
That's not a lot of for his. I mean, it is.
That deal. Well, so here's the deal, right? And you got to commend, I guess, Chris Ballard for this.
Sure.
Nobody else really saw Kenny Moore as what Kenny Moore, actually is and has become and everything. So as soon as Chris saw it, he made him a very highly paid, very young player Like, hey, here we go. And now that deal is still in effect. So he got like a boosted rookie deal almost.
Yeah.
And now it's still in effect with 3 years left. I don't know. They can't lose him. I'd assume Jim Irsay is like, no, we need Kenny Moore here. So, but if he's going to hold out, and, he'll have to come to the mandatory, I think, with the way the contracts are set up, because he'll lose all that money very quickly with how big the fines are. Hopefully they'll figure it out. He's too damn good of a football player.
Here's good news, though. I think you'd rather have him intentionally miss OTAs than accidentally miss OTAs.
Yeah, that's true. Right. 100% right. Because if he just didn't know it was happening, like, we gave that guy the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah,
last
this
guy didn't even know that we had shit going on.
But what was the good news?
Big Richard Nick Foles is officially an Indianapolis Colts.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah, dude, it's huge.
Take care of him. Is he going to start?
No, he's not going to start.
Sure?
It's being reported that he is comfortable with the backup role here in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Good fucking news, because we have an astronaut and a Navy SEAL.
That's right.
And Matt Ryan leading the team that we made a massive trade for and are paying a lot of money to and everything like that. But Frank Reich says, I've been wanting Big Richard Nick Foles around here ever since I got here, basically. I wanted Nick since I've been here, Frank Reich says. Now, is he saying that publicly? That's via Around the NFL, who just, accrues clips and sound bites from every team in the NFL. Shout out to Around the NFL. But is this a message directly to Nick Foles and his family? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do the critics of Frank Reich immediately go, oh, Frank.
This fucking guy.
Phil Rivers, Carson Wentz, now Nick Foles. We get it. You know these people.
You want to coach your buddies.
Okay, yeah. That's what the naysayers say. Yeah. Not me, okay? This was clearly a statement to Nick Foles and to his people. 1,000,000%. Like, hey, I always wanted Nick Foles to be here because they're old friends. They accomplished great things. We heard Nick Foles cut a promo at a press conference as a third-string quarterback for the Bears last year say, Frank designed an offense around me, and you saw what I did. So I'm just waiting for the call, basically, as I'm fucking third string up here for a very bad football team in the Chicago Bears with no chance of playing. No chance of playing here. And the culture here is terrible.
Stinks.
It is terrible here. So Nick Foles tried to cut a promo to save his life, it felt like, with Carson back at the Colts. Let's bring the old gang back together. Didn't happen. I don't know why. Maybe the Bears were asking for too much. He's a third stringer. Why would you be asking for too much? I don't know. Maybe the Colts didn't want to just dive in. Hey, our quarterback room is our quarterback room already. But it's nice to know that Frank wanted Nick ever since he got here. And Nick Foles is going to be the best backup quarterback in the fucking NFL. You hear me, Boston Connor?
We'll see.
Oh, we got a Super Bowl MVP fucking backup quarterback here in Indianapolis.
No doubt about it, but he's the backup. And, I love that Frank is finally reunited with what seems to be his long-lost son, Nick Foles. But don't you think you already have Matt Ryan? Why don't we, settle T.Y. Hilton? Why don't we get Julio Jones? Because we only have Pittman. We already lost Zach Pascal
Michael
to the
Strahan.
Eagles. You got Strahan. You got Alex Pierce.
Dog.
You got some wide receivers, but there's no real veteran. Like, it doesn't make sense to me why you would go and get a quarterback who's the same age as Matt Ryan, basically.
Well, they need another arm OTAs.
That's right.
Okay.
They need another arm
Don't they need hands, though, to catch the passes from the other arm?
What about Sam?
What's that?
Sam.
Yeah, Ellinger. He's a stud.
I concur.
Moxie.
He's great. Nick Foles was third-string quarterback last year. Sam,
third-string quarterback.
Yeah. Not that big of a deal. You can be Nick Foles next. No big deal. I fucking love Sam Ellinger. Okay?
Yeah.
Lucky to have him as a Colt. Always too many arms ain't enough arms.
That's right.
That's what they say.
Who's that other guy? Colts
That's why they got the deal done right now.
Future.
Hawk Beeson.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's still on the team?
He threw that dart against the Rams
Seahawks,
to Jalen Ramsey, but it was a dart.
What's your problem?
What? It was.
Well,
it was
Colts
an
fans are
absolute
like, this guy's the
seed.
future.
What is your problem?
I'm not. I'm serious. It was a great ball.
You hear me?
It was a wrong
You're
team.
a fucking problem.
Basically the same ball that Carson threw to him, too.
Yeah.
What if an injury happens? Matt was looking very, very, very
Whoa.
scared.
One of the most terrible players.
No quarterback.
We have one quarterback. It's Matt Ryan. We have one backup quarterback. It's fucking Nick Foles.
Coach's son.
Okay, those are two different types.
It's different. It's a different story.
It's a
when
different
it's the coach's
dynamic.
son.
Coach's
It's
son.
completely different.
Oh, QB controversy already.
No.
No.
Now, as soon as Nick Foles left, remember, that's when Carson Wentz in the quarterback room went to fucking shit. Doug Peterson, Nick Foles, Frank Reich, and Carson Wentz were the closest of friends. Now, Nick Foles gets shipped out to Jacksonville so that there isn't a public uproar. Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson and the Eagles fall apart completely. Quarterback room sees who? Nate Sudfeld come in the fourth quarter of a game.
right.
Jason Kelsey almost fights the fucking coach. Yeah, he's just asking questions. Whatever.
Okay.
Kelsey was not happy with what was going on. And that's all because Big Richard left the building. And you don't think Frank Reich's life was much better when Big Richard Nick Foles was in the building in Philadelphia? You think it was just Carson Wentz's life that was much better when Big Richard Nick Foles? Wait till you see what fucking stinking Frank Reich fudging does this year. You hear me, Connor? This might be the worst thing that has ever happened for the entirety of the AFC. Frank Reich's waking up a little bit earlier. He's praying a little bit harder.
That's right.
He's putting in a little bit more plays like Philly, Dilly, Indy, how you doing? Keep it moving.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this is bad news for the Patriots, I'll tell you that, pal. And you know what? Long term, bad for the Packers as well. Yeah, and the fucking Steelers. Good luck.
No, Mitch.
We got the best backup quarterback in the NFL.
That's not true.
That's right. Well, I mean, we'll see. But also, of course, this should be bad news for the AFC because if it's not and this doesn't work, Frank Reich is going to be looking for quarterback coaching jobs because he's not going to be in Indianapolis next year if they don't fucking go to the playoffs.
Andy Dalton's a backup quarterback, and Andy started over Big Dick Nick last year.
Did you see how cool Andy Dalton looked in that photo that hit the internet yesterday?
Dog. He's on my brain.
What team is he on?
Saints.
He's on the Saints, and there's a photo of him mid-stretch. He looks as if he's a lion or a lioness, stretching his back, ready to attack some prey. Perfectly primmed hair into a beautiful faux hawk look, scowling at the camera. Andy Dalton has never looked better. Now he gets a chance to help Jameis Winston lead the New Orleans Saints back into relevancy than the post-Drew Brees, post-Sean Payton. Look at that guy.
Wow. He looks
He's
good.
wearing number 5.
Look how good that stretch is, too. He looks like he's ready to fucking kill something.
Locked in.
5's an all-time great backup number.
Andy Dalton, more like it. I mean, look at this guy,
right.
dude. Think about the transformation he made when he started changing his hair.
Oh, yeah.
You youngs will never remember. This guy was tortured relentlessly due to how he looked because of his haircut.
Yeah.
Then one offseason, he just came back, and it was like a Gordon Howard type thing, or Gordon Hayward?
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward type thing where he got this new haircut, and it was like, damn.
Oh, shit.
This guy in the fucking cover of GQ.
Holy shit,
Fucking
Andy.
Andy with the good hair.
Fucking love Andy Dalton, man.
The Saints now, too, with Jameis and Andy, they have the best, pre-game speech quarterbacks in the NFL right now,
Listen, they say we work hard for moments like these. These are the moments that we worked hard for. All that hard work, let's work today for this moment today. All right, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Andy Dalton had the least passionate pregame speech I'd ever seen in my entire life.
Not great.
Banger, though. The boys came out flying.
But he was right, though. I mean, that is what you work hard for, is for this
Building
moment.
stunk. It
Makes you
wasn't
wonder
asphalt.
what he said in that Cowboys game before the game.
Oh, no.
You know? When his head got pinballed all over the turf.
And nobody
helped him up.
What was the deal?
I don't know.
Speaking of the Cowboys, Dak Prescott is 100% healthy and ready to go at OTAs. He's excited.
Let's go, Dak.
All right, let's get to a break. The big rig, Patty Maroon, will be joining us on the other side.
Hell
There
yeah.
we go.
We're about to have some actual hockey talk.
Yeah.
Not that our other hockey talk isn't hockey talk that we normally have on this show. I mean, the Pittsburgh Penguins are the greatest franchise in the history of the NHL. I mean, that is not even
Make sure you tell him that.
Well, I'm not
Let
going
him
to.
know.
I'm not going to. Nope. I've seen
We should
him
just do normal hockey talk with him.
in the face to people. I don't need to be on the other side of that. What's that, Diggs?
We should just do normal hockey talk with him on and see what if he jumps in.
Yeah, so we've won the cup back-to-back, boys. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then just hangs up and gets out of here. I saw him mic'd up. This dude is
Pretty
He's
good.
a dog.
awesome.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
Big tough guy.
Yeah.
Anytime a tough guy calls other guys big tough guy, I'm a big fan of that.
Oh, yeah. You were real tough when the ref came in. I'm a big tough guy. Huh? Drop the gloves.
Yeah.
And he sits down.
Yep.
He's yelling at people skating by.
I love him. Can't wait to chat with him. First time chatting with him will be on the other side. He is a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, looking to become a 4-time Stanley Cup champion with the Tampa Bay Lightning to go 3-peat. Wow. What a time to be alive. To be a friend, tell a friend. We'll see you then. You like Trey Lance, huh? You love the way he plays, you love the way he operates. How about how he handled the whole situation last year? I mean, this is isn't it kind of awkward situation going on over there, or not at all?
I mean, some would say it's definitely awkward. I mean, you trade 3 first-round picks for a quarterback. Like, there's writing on the wall. Like, it is what it is. It's the NFL. It's a profession. Everyone's trying to bring in younger, better, cheaper players. And then that's just the way the league is. And so there's an awkwardness to it, I guess. But at the end of the day, we're all here on the same team, and we're trying to win Super Bowl. So it's the lucky thing that we have here at the Niners is I feel like we have a fantastic culture of guys that just want to get better every day, and we love everybody in the locker. And so, Jimmy G could have, he could have been a dick and said, it's not my job, not my responsibility to take care of this guy and put him under my wing. But instead what he did is he was professional every single day. He didn't complain one time. He showed up, he worked, he started, he got us to an NFC Championship game and helped Trey along the way. And so I thought Trey took a bunch of steps forward. And for Trey to become a really good quarterback in the NFL, he needs reps. And so once this kid gets a lot of reps, just watch out, because some of the things I've seen him do in practice kind of mind-boggling me, so I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, he's considered what? Great athlete, right? Because obviously Aaron waited behind Brett Favre for 3 years, right? And I wish, and I've said this publicly a lot, and I'm sure the Luck family doesn't like this, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year. Like, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year to see how he operates in the building, how you operate with equipment managers, training, like everything like that. Trey getting an opportunity to watch Jimmy G do this, who's from the Tom Brady mentor camp or whatever. Did he make leaps? Like, did you see leaps and bounds as him as a player, as a football, as an NFL guy? Or is it just like a consistent growth with him and he's kind of just chill?
Both. I think it's consistently gotten better, but like you could see, like Jimmy G is a professional through and through. Like Jimmy G takes notes every single meeting. He asks questions every meeting. Like he's in his books. And I think once Trey saw that, he was like, oh, I need to do all that and more. And it's also too, we have a great quarterback room. We got Nate Sudfeld in there, who's also he's got a nice little silly release. I like him a lot too. He's great for Trey too, because he's a people person. And he helps Trey with the offense, and he did a great job helping him all year too. So Trey has taken, in my opinion, big steps forward. Like if you compare him to last year's OTAs, I think he's 2 different players, and that's just exciting to see. Now, if Trey Lance was the starting quarterback, and if I say if, because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, not your decision. Not your decision.
Yeah, thank God it's not my decision. It's all you, Kyle. You got this. I believe me. But all reps, and if there's growing pains, there's growing pains. I think we have a good enough team around him, from Trent Williams to Nick Bosa to Fred Warner to George Ayuk to Brent to Deebo Samuel. We have enough guys around him to help him out through those growing pains. And so if it happens, it is what it is. And hey, you know what? If at the end of the day we have to run the ball 35 times, count me in, baby.
Yeah, you love that, huh? Just fucking mauling people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was that last season where you threw a guy and then continued to run, or was that 2 seasons ago? I don't remember. It's kind of all getting tracked. You're an absolute savage, though. Huh?
It happens every season.
What's up? This is called Could I Be Quarterback in the USFL? Basketball shot. Take 1. You tell me.
Hell yeah.
Oh. Pretty ominous
Yeah.
beat here.
A little bit.
Okay.
Hey, not bad there.
Yeah.
That really came in. Kyle Best. That one's called 42.
Okay.
It came right after a song called 41.
Hell yeah.
Oh, he's a big numbers guy.
Kyle Best, yeah. So this is either the 42nd song that he's ever made or the 42nd song that he sent to us. Whatever the case, we appreciate the hell out of whatever we get from Kyle Best.
Pretty good at number 42.
Yeah, love
This
number
is making.
42.
Yeah. Took him 41 tries to get to this one. When he got here, he's like, my fucking masterpiece.
I got it.
Joining us now is a man who has won 3 straight Stanley Cup championships. The first of which was with his hometown, the St. Louis Blues. The last two with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Looking to win 4 straight like the fucking Islanders from 1979 to 1983. The Big Ray, Patty Maroon.
What's going on, fellas? Great introduction. I appreciate that.
Hey, you deserve every single second of that, man. You're fucking dominating. And this is awesome. An American hockey player, fucking 3 times back to back to back, looking to make it 4. Patty, it's great for hockey. And I've, done some research on you over the years. Don't you think you should be on TV doing interviews every fucking day? Wouldn't it grow the NHL mightily? You're an absolute living legend right now, Big Rig.
I agree. I think I would do big things in the TV world. So maybe we can start something here and we can mold something into like a little hockey show.
Okay.
That we can bring some legendary people on there.
Sorry. Noted. CFO Phil will start drawing up the contract right now. Don't know if we'll be able to afford you. Let's try to get this done before you become a 4-time Stanley Cup champ, okay? I'd like to have to pay the 3-time Stanley Cup champ rate and get the 4-time Stanley Cup champ experience. Let's talk about your career here, Patty, because I looked into this. Before you got to St. Louis, you kind of bounced around, right? Then you get to St. Louis, your hometown, 1-year deal, basically. Hey, you had to feel like, hey, this is it. You go on to win the fucking Stanley Cup, and you're like massive piece of everything. The energy, the physicality, the goal scoring. You become a fucking guy. Then you go to Tampa, Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup. What happened, you think? What was it? Did you experience some growth? Did you become a different player? Did you find the right place? What do you think it was that kind of changed the trajectory of your career completely when you got to St. Louis?
I just think for me personally, it was more, I was in Edmonton. I had an unbelievable, putting up numbers, putting up goals. And, I was coming into a free agent off season where I thought, this is my big deal. I'm ready to rock and roll. And, coming off back surgery, knee surgery, teams were kind of, a little scared. But I think when I was in Edmonton and then when I got traded to Jersey, my mindset changed of just the winning mentality, being part of just a great culture, bringing guys together. When young guys would get called up, just making sure they feel comfortable, making sure guys are relaxed, having fun, and just enjoying the game itself. Because at the end of the day, we don't play this forever, so you might as well just go out there and fucking enjoy it and enjoy the moment and just enjoy the guys on the team and have the most fun with the boys. So I just, going to St. Louis, it was a dream come true for one, watching them grow, watching the Blues grow up my whole childhood career. And then my son lives there too in St. Louis. So it just made the most sense for me to come back and just to put the Blue Note jersey on. But I think they needed some help with size, character guys in the room, changing, bringing more guys together and just trying to fill that role that I can. And, I came in, I was kind of a struggle in the beginning for me, but it ended on the highest note you possibly can. Scoring that big goal against Dallas and then going on winning the Stanley Cup since, they haven't won in 52 years, first time ever. So, it's pretty remarkable for a St. Louis kid to sit there and, go with your dad, season ticket holder, watching it, sitting on my dad's lap as a kid in the old arena. You think back on those days, you never thought, I'd be hosting the Stanley Cup for the same team I grew up watching. So as a player, though, for me, it just changed for me, just trying to be more of a leader and just be there for the boys and, gather them away from the rink because that's the most important thing.
Yes.
You feel you need to get guys away from the rink and have fun and, have a beer here and there and just because if the player feels comfortable going to the rink every single day, they're going to perform on the ice with you. So I'm a firm believer in that.
Is that why you think this Tampa team has done so well over the last couple of years? You guys got superstars, but it feels like you're a tight-knit group. The parade in St. Louis was epic.
Yeah.
Hey, good on you. That's where I learned about you, by the way. I was like, I fucking love this guy. Okay, I love this guy completely. But now in Tampa, the city, man, I don't know what it was like before you got there and before you guys were winning Stanley Cups. We were down there for like 6 months almost, once a week, and we got to see the city like full-on Tampa Bay Lightning city. Do you think it's because of the boys and the camaraderie and everything that you have, and is that why the city is bought in, or is that if you win Stanley Cups, the city's going to buy in anyways? What do you think?
I think both. I think, to be honest with you, our owner does a really good job of a lot of community work and a lot of stuff outside of the rink, and the players are so involved in that too. They do a lot of charity work, and I know that's just a little bit of piece of it, but fans get attracted to that. And but I think winning the Stanley Cup, when they won in 2004, but when I got here, to answer your question before, I didn't know what kind of the fans were like, the fan base, but selling out every night, it was electric around the arena. Our
Go
pictures
Boats!
are everywhere.
Go Boats! Go Boats! Go Boats!
So,
that's all we heard.
It was just, and then when we won the first cup, I experienced history, the first ever boat parade, and then going down that road, and then going to Raymond James, partying with the boys, and then we win again. It's just like our fan base is actually truly amazing. I honestly, if Tom Brady didn't sign with the Bucs, no one would care for the Bucs. Does that mean
I felt like it was that way in the NFL.
But
as
I can't say that because my boy Blainer, Gabbert's the backup there. He's my boy, so I can't be saying that stuff. But I just feel like I feel like we're bigger than the Bucs. But obviously with
the greatest of all time,
Tom coming, it's more electric for both, and I think it's good for both because then you can kind of we go to the games, these guys come to our games, so we got that cool little vibe going where we both kind of built the city around that.
And you guys got a lot of OGs both there, right? Like very established on both.
Yeah,
coasts.
we do.
You know what I mean? Like
Kucherov, Vassy, Stammer, Hetty.
Hey.
So I mean, they got Brady, obviously Gronk. I mean, you can go down the list. Evans, Godwin,
Blaney.
So it's pretty cool.
Blaney, bunch of old fucking guys down there having.
Blaney's a beauty, though.
Yeah, he is an absolute beauty. Hey, the hockey. You talked about having a couple drinks with the boys outside of the rink. Every time I've ever ended up at a hockey house, at any campus, okay, it's always been a problem. The next day has always been terrible. It feels like that is just a part of the culture of hockey, though. Every other sport is changing generationally. The younger generations aren't like the old guys at all. Is hockey experiencing the same thing? Because it feels like hockey's its own world almost.
Yeah, it is. I feel like, it's funny that you say that. Like, it feels like when we talk to football players or we talk to baseball players, we're like, geez, this is what you guys do?
Yes.
You guys hang out with each other? We don't do that. I'm like, yeah, this is what we do. But it's changing in hockey too. Like a lot of video games, a lot of like.
Hey, I feel like you need. Hey, listen, I'm going to sound like such an asshole here, and like scientists and nutritionists are going to be so upset about this and all that. I feel like the best teams I've ever witnessed have come together around a keg. Okay, not kale. All right, you go out to a bar and maybe not everybody's drinking beer, but like that is really how you learn about people. I'm not saying you got to get completely fucked up, but I feel like that is a missing piece that you just mentioned about St. Louis, about Tampa, about bringing the team together and camaraderie. I feel like we're getting in a kind of an isolated generation, and this is no offense, and I know people have camaraderie in different fashions, but I think in the NFL it's become difficult for that to continue because of the guys that travel, play video games, a lot of headphones on. A lot of times it's like, man, I feel that can't happen, right, Patty? That can't happen in sports, I don't think.
No, it certainly can't. And, as veterans, I think the biggest thing for me, you need to build your team around veteran players and that can help the young kids away from the rink if they need help with anything. Not only just bringing them together, but making sure they feel comfortable, because if you're just going home and playing video games and then waking up and then coming to practice and then leaving, going back to play video games and then coming back, it's just like there's got to be more. Like, you're just basically showing up. Like, that's not okay. Like, I grew up when I first came into the league. If I didn't go for a beer after practice, I was getting crucified. So I just learned that way. It was just like, let's go have a beer. So, and I'm not saying we do that all the time. We don't. But I'm just saying, as a young kid, if a veteran came up to you and said that you have to go. So I think I've learned that through my, American League career and NHL career, is just trying to help those younger guys feel comfortable and, breaking their shell a little bit and just not going home to play video games, learning about each other. And and then they can pass that on to the next generation. So I think that's a huge impact on the game. But I mean, football. There's so many goddamn players. I mean,
Right.
do you guys even hang out with each
Yes,
other? Like the whole line hangs out with each other.
Yes. I used to bounce around group to group. I heard you take a shot at
Well, yeah, you.
Yeah. I heard you took
You're like me.
Yeah.
I just bounce around everywhere. I'm just hanging out,
Yeah. Hey, you guys drinking? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think I can come. Yeah, I'll be able to fit in. Yeah, you guys can do whatever you want to do. We'll have a good time. But honestly, you took a shot at NFL culture earlier, and I think I was a part of a lot of good rooms with a lot of good vets. And when you talked about building your team around veterans that can show the young guys, like the Colts teams I was on that were the best were that way. And it's kind of, we're seeing a shift in the NFL now where some teams are veteran led and some teams are like, hey, we're just going to go through the draft. And it seems like the veteran teams are going to win every single fucking time. It's kind of nice to hear that the NHL is the same way. Speaking of the NHL, ESPN and Turner deals as opposed to NBC Sports. Have you felt any effect on this? Does this change your life at all? Do you like it for the league? Obviously, people are getting a lot more access to a great fucking sport.
Yeah, I think it's huge. We needed that. NBC did a good job, but it was for us. It was kind of embarrassing when you turn on Sports Center and all you see is football and NBA and baseball, and hockey's not even mentioned. And you got people on there chirping hockey, and it's just kind of like a slap in the face to us because like people should know our stars in the game because right now we're seeing a player named Connor McDavid. He'll probably go down as one of the greatest players of all time. And, Wayne obviously did his thing, but what you're seeing right now in the playoffs is truly remarkable. And the fact that he's not up there with LeBron James or, Tom Brady, I mean, his points per game in the playoffs, he's breaking records. And they're still not talking about it. And it's just crazy to me that you're seeing a kid that's still only 23, 24 years old making this game look so easy. And unfortunately, it took us years to get to where we are, to get on ESPN. And I think TNT is doing an excellent job with Biz and Gretz and all those guys, Liam and Anson and Rick Tocchet.
Hey, if you would have left somebody off, they would have been pissed. Go ahead, you did great there. I thought that was smart. They're all good dudes, and I think our ratings have been through the roof from what I've been seeing lately. So that's good news for us, and I think we just got to keep building this game because we have like a Kucherov, Stammers, the Headies, the McDavids, the Dreisaitl's, Crosby's. I mean, and you have to put these guys on TV because if you don't, then people are just missing out, and that's unfortunate because we're seeing a star born in this generation that a lot of people can't do, and he's doing it like freely. Like it just looks like an easy game. He's playing with kids out there, and it's as a McDavid, and it's just unbelievable to watch, and no one's even talking about it. Like on a sports talk show or we got to talk about it.
We did.
Whatever talk show they have.
Hey, we got to talk about it more too. We've been talking about McJesus, and I'm happy to hear this from a guy who should also be in that conversation.
Yeah.
Back to back, Stanley Cup champions. There's something about playoff hockey. It's different than regular season hockey, obviously. It's faster. It's on primetime television, it feels like, and it's where stars are born. McJesus hadn't had a good run in playoffs, right, until this year. What do you think it is that has taken him to the next level? Is it just experience? Is it the team around him? What do you think it is that has really gotten him out there? And obviously you can't watch film on every other team, but in your thoughts, what does it take to take that next step into playoffs? Is it just a different sport?
Yeah, I mean, for him, I think he was young too. He came into the league. Edmonton wasn't too good, and then when I was there, we made it to the second round. We were still a very young team, and I think he's maturing in his body. He's maturing as a leader. But when you strap on the skates in the playoffs, like you said, it's just a different animal. I think it's with any sport. Like you go through the regular season, it's a fucking grind. You're playing 82 games. And, it's like the dog days every time. You're like, okay, is the season ending yet? There's 14 games left still. But when you get into the playoffs, this is where, like you said, stars are born. This is like where you want to grab the moments, steal, and it's people that you like a McDavid that is doing it, or someone that's just randomly on the fourth line or third line that, is the young son hero throughout the playoffs and scores big time goals. And that's how you make your mark. And fortunately, that's how you make your money. You want to be that big time player, and you gotta cherish these moments. I mean, it's unbelievable. Why wouldn't you want to do that? I mean, it's just embrace it, enjoy it, and fucking go out there and have fun, man.
Hey, and go win a championship, huh? Let's have a fucking boat parade.
Here we fucking go.
Here we go, boys, huh? Let's fucking go, huh?
The old Canadian talk, eh, boys?
Hey, do you drift in and out of that? I assume you do because of how many Canadians are around on a day-to-day basis, or no?
Yeah, I say a lot. It's terrible.
The diversity in the NHL is interesting because you guys got like the Eastern Europe, right? And then
we got it all.
Yeah. How everybody speaks English to each other, or are you just left out of some fucking conversations as a stooge from St. Louis?
Oh yeah, we're left out of a lot of conversations. The Russians will be sitting there in the training room and they're just spitting, so you don't even know if they're chirping you or not. But it's hilarious. Yeah. We have great Europeans. All of our Euro guys are unbelievable. We have a great crew of guys, and it's a good mixture.
You guys were cheating with the salary cap last year? Is that what I was hearing? Is that what they were doing?
Yeah.
You guys were cheating? Are you guys doing that again? Is that just what you guys do all the time?
I don't think that was cheating. I think he was just hurt.
Okay, hey, listen. I'm just telling you what other people are saying. Other people are saying. You have time for a couple more questions, Patty?
Yeah, I'm here all day.
You're the man. Go ahead, Ty.
Patty, you're obviously a very likable guy, but like with what you have to do when you're pummeling people and beating the shit out of people out there, like is it common for you to like have a lot of bad blood around the league, or not really? Like do people just understand that that's part of the gig and you are such an affable guy and a veteran off the ice? Or like do you have guys out there who you genuinely fucking hate their guts?
Yeah, I think a lot of people hate me. There's not a lot. I mean, I guess hate's a strong word. There's not a lot of guys. Marshawn drives me fucking nuts.
He's licking faces. Isn't there like a line in that whole thing, or is it just if you're a pest, you're a pest? That's like good for your team.
He's good at it. Like he's the best at it in the game, and I give him credit. And he's one of the best players in the league, too, doing it. So he drives me a bit off the wall. But it's my job to kind of, like, go around and be a pest, chirp guys, just be exhausting, because it is exhausting when you got someone chirping your bench the whole game or you're in someone's ear the whole game. It's exhausting. It's actually annoying as hell.
Real tough guy, huh? When the ref comes in, huh? Drop the fucking gloves.
So, I don't really hate anyone. Me and Marshy go at it a lot. We have like a love-hate relationship, so there's a couple other guys, but when push comes to shove, I'm just a hated guy, I feel like.
Hey, you always do smelling salts before?
By not only by a lot of fans too. Like
no,
fans hate me. Like on different teams. Like yeah.
Well, I saw Nick. What was that video you were telling me about where he walked up to a kid, asked the kid if he wanted a puck? Kid said yeah, and they just dropped the puck and skated away.
Yeah.
Fuck that kid. You know what I mean, Pat? You know what I mean? Yeah, to hell with that kid. I don't know why they hate you. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why they would hate you.
I think because I'm always smiling out there. I'm always just having fun. I think it probably just irritates the hell out of them.
Yeah. Hey, when you fight, do you train boxing or anything like that, or is it just natural instinct from all the years of hockey fighting?
No, a guy named Cam Jansen played in the league. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Johnson.
And when I first came in the league, he's like, hey, you're going to have to learn how to fight. You have to come boxing with me. So I train this summer. I go boxing at this Finney's gym, and it's helped out a lot. But when you're 34 like myself now, you try to just do the best you can, and just because some kids that want to come up, you're just like bait for them. Like, let's go. Like, I need it right now. Like, I need to make a name. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, can we just play with the puck just a little bit today?
Can we play some hockey before we
play a little bit of hockey? But yeah, I do boxing in the summer, which is good for me because I learn how to protect myself. I learn, when to control my breathing and stuff like that. He teaches me a lot of good stuff if the fight's going longer. So, I mean, for me, it's all tie up and like making sure I'm put in good situations, not put myself in bad situations. So, because there's some tough customers out there that will just
Yeah,
throw
you're one of them,
heavy
dude.
lefts, heavy rights, and they just go and go and go.
Yeah, you're one of them, though. People are staying up the night before they're playing against you, thinking about making a name for themselves and on the good side as opposed to the bad side, like quickly onto the internet immediately. Dummied!
Yeah.
Look at this muppet! Yeah. That's a whole thing. Hey, we got to go. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. You were the best. I hope we can get you back on the show after you become a 4-time Stanley Cup champion.
Hey, I would love that, boys. I follow you guys. Love the show. I pay attention to it. So thanks for having me on. It's been a lot.
We appreciate you. Go Boats.
Go
Boats.
Boats.
Big Rig, Pat.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Yay!
He was awesome. Sorry, boys, we didn't get your questions. I assumed they were going to be great. We got about a minute, 10 seconds until hour 2 starts with AJ Hawkton. Tim Howard will join us in about 15 minutes. We'll see you in about a minute. Everybody's running to piss right now. All right, see you.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show on this Thursday, May 26th, 2022. More sports conversation shall continue. Now, can't thank you enough for joining us. You are incredible people. Had a baby. Thank you so much, Herbie. Didn't even get a chance to take a piss. Went on a run. As soon as I stood over the toilet, was about to do my thing. Intro had started. Oh my God, had to run all the way back. Need to continue to load up the bladder and the energy. So this is going to be an interesting hour, I think. An interesting, at least first 30, 35 minutes, because we got a legend joining us in about 12 minutes. Tim Howard, who has a World Cup record, which is the Soccer Lombardi of most saves in one match at 15, which he did against Belgique.
Of course.
An absolute stud, a guy that I looked up to early in my soccer career when I was a kid. Can't believe we're getting a chance to chat with him today. Excited about that because this weekend is the championship of the Champions League.
Wow.
Who will be the champion of the champions?
Liverpool. Say about like 700 million people watch this one.
700
Yeah.
million
The numbers are
people.
absurd.
This sounds like the fan control.
That sounds spooky.
Across all the platforms.
No.
All the platforms.
This one's huge.
700. I'll be one of them. Fuck it.
Glory.
Uh-huh.
The 2021 said 700 million.
Wow. This time, 4.5 billion people will watch.
Hell yeah.
When is this game, Diggs?
Saturday at 3, I think.
Saturday, 3 o'clock. Liverpool takes on Real Madrid in the championship of the Champions League. Gumpy, your team could win its 3rd trophy of the season. Couple Scousers celebrating out there. How do you feel looking at it?
It's glory. It's glory for the Reds.
That scares me a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
A little bit.
Hearing glory makes me a little nervous that is already the thought. Because it wasn't glory for,
Done this past weekend.
or England.
Or England when
Oh,
they took
yeah.
on the Italians.
It wasn't coming.
But this is Gumpy's weekend.
Championship of champions. And he's
Yeah, this is Gumpy's
They
weekend.
were celebrating.
Liverpool must win.
This one, boys. We need this one.
Joining us now is a man who's college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, and a soccer expert. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID survivor AJ Hawk. How you doing, dude?
Good. It reminded me of you saying this is Goomps weekend and like things have to go this way. It reminded me like Coach K. It was like, oh, the storybook year, they're gonna win it all, right?
Oh, no.
How'd you do that?
Liverpool loses.
Oh, no.
Withdrawal happens. the portion takes place.
No.
Tyreek
I'm
Hill
saying
gets hurt.
Maybe his bets don't pay off for people, but maybe I don't know. Something he marries a U.S. girl here this weekend, and boom, he's here.
Well, that wouldn't be like Coach K at all. Then that's not what you said. Coach
That's
K.
what I'm saying though. As far as the bet goes, maybe that'll be like a Coach K situation. And Goomp takes that and uses it for inspiration, and he goes and he finds a lady and he marries her.
He's been down there at Tin Roof.
That's right.
Looking.
Coach K did get a puppy after he retired, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the puppy will make Gumpy be able to become an American citizen more, but
Is the lawyers UNC? The first lawyers?
Whoa.
no, they're actually, somebody told me to not hire. Somebody, it was a pretty good tweet, actually. I appreciate it. They were looking out for Gump. You got Gump, one of those Indiana lawyers. You need to get Gump. It's like, no, this one, New York City, actually, we're getting completely, which, by the way, the original immigration, right, was that area.
Ellis Island.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if it was original. I guess the Rock.
Big one.
Plymouth Rock
was
yeah.
probably the original.
That was, that was kind of illegal immigration, honestly, when you think about it.
Well, I mean, if we're going to go back all the way back, whose rules?
Wampanoags in Plymouth.
But there we go.
Yeah.
So illegal in their rules for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Could Gump just like enlist in the army and then we just kind of just call it?
I don't know if he's able to. Anyways,
Might work.
We appreciate you, Gump. Love you, Gump. Okay, there's some breaking news in the NFL, AJ Hawk, and I can't wait for you and me to dive into media player relationships. In the third hour, we have a full series to break down of events that have transpired in the San Francisco area between a member of a media, credentialed member of the press for the San Francisco 49ers, and all of the players for the 49ers. So I can't wait for you and me to break that down. But there is some breaking news in the NFL. Steve Smith Sr. is coaching for the New York Giants.
Really?
Wow. Steve!
He actually, in his announcement on Twitter, he said, "Fuck off, Rappaport."
Whoa.
Fuck off, Schefter. In other words, not in those exact words, but he did say that. I'm breaking the news myself. He had a New York Giants jacket on, a flat bill, maybe a New York Giants flat bill, and he was on the practice field. Don't know if he's trolling. Don't know if it's real. Congrats to Dayball. It's a troll.
Ari Mirov already said that, right?
What, it's a troll?
I think Ari Mirov, I think I said that. Yeah, where he said he's just messing with us, really.
Oh, my God.
Steve's just having some fun.
Classic May 26.
Bro, I have a fucking 23-minute convo with Patty Maroon. Okay, I don't have time to keep up with all the updates, Steve.
Jesus.
Steve, I was so pumped.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Would have been awesome.
No, we didn't want to lose him.
What, on the media?
You're right.
Yeah,
We need him in the media.
You're right. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you,
for not coaching.
He's one of the real ones.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for not. I mean, Baker Mayfield does not feel this way.
Oh, no.
He's pissed. Baker Mayfield was super pumped that he was going to coach for the Giants, amongst other players I would assume that Steve Smith Sr. has thought could play better than they are playing at the time that they are playing. But I guess you're right. I'm pumped Steve Smith Sr. staying.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah, welcome back.
All right, well, fuck it. We got time.
Welcome back.
7 minutes. Is that enough time to break down that? No, let's go to the phones.
We also have Brady in the match.
Oh, yeah, because he's directly tied to this. Hey,
He drained that shot, too. I saw that. Are we talking about that?
the drone footage was
It's amazing.
Yeah.
created a par 3 in the middle of a fairway as well. I like that he has a golf course that says, yes, we'll set up to be the exact course that you will be playing on. Even if we need to use the middle of a fairway to be a par 3, put a tee box there, we will do such a thing. Tom Brady looking fantastic in that Brady gear.
Oh, my
That
God.
Brady golf gear. I believe they're having a sale currently. I saw him tweet that for the first time.
Whoa.
There's a sale on the Brady gear right now.
Hell yeah.
His swing, though, in that drone shot, slow motion, turns that thing over, ball first, ground, skip. That ball flight looked beautiful, and then it had a little bit too much speed. I think it would have ran off the back of the green if it wasn't perfectly, online.
Yeah.
But, yeah, hole-in-one, Tom Brady's ready to go. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the actual roasting that takes place whenever these match things happen. Last year, they obviously, when Aaron was playing against Tom and he was with DeChambeau and Phil was there, I believe, and they put him in a little 4-box, they were trying to get people to talk shit to each other. They were trying to get each other to talk shit. They think that's a big part of it because everybody has said, hey, if these golfers are going to play against each other, we want to hear them unfiltered. We want to hear them actually talking like they would talk as opposed to the mic'd up bullshit that we normally get. So now it's become almost like a roast. And people are expecting, hey, this is the deal. This is how this whole thing goes. Greg Allman did an article. Aaron Rodgers called Patrick Mahomes Kermit the Frog. Oh. And Aaron Rodgers said, we're talking about the shit talk. Will we be able to handle it? And the match has just become synonymous with an attempt at shit talk, whether it's good or bad. Both have happened, both being, interesting parts of the coverage of the match. We're from the older era, Aaron said. When I started playing, there was actual real trash talk. Guys trash talking each other. There was a lot of good shit talking. You knew who they were around the league. Now it's more buddy, social media, following each other, memes, all this emoji shit. It's not the same. When you talk about Kermit the Frog and Josh trying to shit talk me and Tom, a couple old grizzled vets, come on. They better have some prepared material that's written by Bill Burr and Brian Regan or some shit. Ooh. They're not going to be able to hang with Tommy and I. Hey, that's real, though. I feel like the shit talk back in the day was much more savage, ruthless, and had zero rules or filter.
Yeah, I think he's also alluding to the fact that a lot of times you hated your opponents a lot more than opponents tend to hate each other now. There's more animosity, I think, before the game and not as much buddy afterwards, probably.
Yeah, everybody wants to be friends, social media, mean all this emoji shit. Boo. All this shit, they're hashtagging. You see what I do with hashtags? I just put them up. I just put a hashtag at the end, and I talk. I mean, this is all bullshit, this era. You're worried, you ask me if I'm worried that Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are going to get the fuck out of here, Greg Allman.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. And Tom would say the same thing. There was more quotes from this article, though. It got a little personal. Josh Allen says, once Tom's script from his team runs out of jokes, I don't think he's going to be able to really think on his feet like that, Allen said. I've got a lot of practice in wit and off-the-cuff stuff. I think Aaron's a little bit better in that aspect. Tom's going to have his little note card out there, and he's going to run out eventually. I don't think he's going to know what to do. Fucking Josh Allen bringing the hammer
I'm excited
down.
about this thing, man.
Yes, me too. I love this. Josh Allen, beloved by his teammates. I'd assume he's a shit talker.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's doing, he already has this stuff, he gets it. I'm excited. I think Josh Allen, they're playing, 12 holes, I believe?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the rules are. Will they be scrambling? Will it be alternating shot? Will it be everybody's best shot, best score? Not 100% sure.
I think it's 12 holes. I know it's not 18. I think it's 12. But Smart. Josh Allen and Aaron are going to have some great back and forth. From what I see from Josh Allen and what I've heard from people that play with him and how awesome he is, he seems to enjoy it. So I would implore Josh Allen to really explore the space. Just go. Don't hold anything back. Whatever you need to do, because I promise you, Aaron will be game and he will be up for it. And he will always try to come up with something more ruthless. So you could create some great TV here, guys.
Yeah. I implore you to explore the space. See how far you could really take this, Josh. Come prepared is what you just said. Josh was talking about Tom coming prepared with a note card of lines. Tom answered that as well. He said, I can neither confirm nor deny anything along those lines, Brady said. I will come prepared like I always do to everything. Golf shit talk is a little different than pro football shit talk. Usually pro football shit talk, you have to back that up. Josh really hasn't backed much up on the football field in his career, and let's be honest, especially playing against me. Patrick, although he's played a lot of great games, he didn't really win the important ones. He's won a few of the other ones, but not really important ones. I've been doing this too long.
What's this about?
Damn long.
Wow.
This is via Greg Allman from Tom Brady taking shots at Josh and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl champion, has lost some very important games in Tom Brady's eyes, and he just can't handle it. These boys are attacking each other. The four men at the top of the football mountain are going at each other right now, AJ, and we're all watching along.
I can't wait. I am ready. June 1st. What is that? Is that Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Monday.
It's a nighttime thing, too, I believe.
Is this so we'll be able to watch?
Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Might be Wednesday.
I thought it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Wednesday.
No, it's probably Thursday.
It is Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday?
Yeah. Thursday, the final start.
Wednesday, we have a guest about this, don't we?
Really?
It's the day of.
Is that when's June 1st?
Wednesday.
Okay, it's Wednesday.
So Wednesday we have a guest talking about this day of.
Yeah.
Okay, that just got even better.
Okay.
Look at us.
Makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, it's good Wednesday. It's going to be a good Wednesday, huh?
Who's coming on Wednesday?
JJ Watt.
What?
Oh, is he part of the match?
Oh, what Wednesday?
Why? Wednesday.
Let's go.
Why? Wednesday. Talking about the matchy.
Big Wednesday.
On Wednesday, June 1 ski.
Hell
TJ
yeah.
or the other one?
JJ.
What?
Yes. He will be on, not TJ.
What?
Wednesday. My head was already at
Yeah, we're
Wednesday.
thinking
not
Wednesday.
At the one.
Yeah, just get in there. You know, really explore the space.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Yeah, just get
Is JT on the call again?
Justin Timberlake?
No, Thomas.
Justin Timberlake just sold his entire, I hope so. Justin Timberlake just sold his entire song catalog that does not include his future songs for $100 million.
JT.
Conan O'Brien just got $150 million for his podcast library.
Wow. Good deal.
There's got to be something to that. Like if you said $1 billion, I would believe it.
That has to be falsely reported because I'm bringing sexy back.
Yep.
How to act. Maybe just that song. Was
Yeah.
it like 2 to 3 songs that
Who did
he
he sell
sold?
it to?
Some music collective.
Yeah.
It might be just like live audio rights usage or something like that. $100 million seems light for Justin Timberlake. Can't wait to meet him out at Tahoe. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man from the world of the soccer.
Hell yeah.
Who's an icon over there.
Hell yeah.
United States goalie who represented internationally for us long before it became a very normal and cool thing to do. Out of New Jersey, holds a World Cup record with 15 saves in one match. Every other goalie can eat shit. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Howard.
Yeah!
Let's go, Tim.
What's happening? How are you?
Thank you so much for coming on the show, dude. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm better for seeing you. It's been a while.
It has. It's been a long time. You were supposed to tattoo something on my finger. You didn't bring your tattoo gun. It ended up backfiring. I mean, but here we are, still chatting all these years later.
There's still time to do that. I'm still here for it.
Okay, we can still do that because you have, you don't count your tats, but your entire body almost inked up at this point, right?
Yeah, we're getting there. It's close.
And is that strictly because of the soccer world? Because one of our guys here, Tone Diggs, with the last World Cup, he saw everybody with sleeves, and he was like, I'm going to get a sleeve. He got right to the end of his forearm.
Most of it.
And didn't make it. This next World Cup will get him in there. It feels like the soccer world is super tatted. Is that, do you guys talk about that, and why is that, you think?
I don't know if we talk about it. It's just, it's just the cool kid. You go in the locker room, and all the cool kids have tattoos, so you just try and keep up with it. Trendsetters, I suppose.
When you went overseas to play, it wasn't normal for United States players to go over there. You were our fucking guy, Tim.
Yeah.
Hey, we got the fucking guy.
Yeah.
Going over there. Soccer's becoming a big thing. I grew up playing soccer, so I was a big fan of it, especially with you in Region 1, New Jersey. Here we go. Let's do this thing. And it became quite an experience. And obviously your life now, you get a chance to chat about it and everybody knows you. But it feels like soccer is taking off a lot more than it was in the past. Has this always been a vision, and do you feel that in the soccer world?
No, it's certainly, this generation over the last probably 10 years, it's gotten mainstream. I felt there was a couple players before me, but certainly I was a part of some guys that went over there and helped to carry that mantle. But listen, it's mega popular, man. You have friends all over the sports world. I have friends who in their off season from the NBA, they go over to Paris or they go over to Barcelona, to trade jerseys with someone, or go to London. You have professional players investing in Premier League teams. So it's really, really popular now.
What's it like when you first go over there and you first start playing? For Americans, is it a wake-up call? Do they take things more serious? Is it more physical? What's the difference?
Yeah, it's a huge difference, man. It's a great question. It's one, you're American, so you don't belong. So you're automatically behind the 8 ball. And you talk about...
Is that teammates or media? Teammates, media, and fans, or in
you call it a different sport. You call it a different name, too.
Well, fans and media, but certainly teammates, you'll get tested until you prove yourself. But again, as a teammate, if someone's in a locker room next to you and they can help you win, that's all you care about. So you earn that respect, fairly quickly. But the rest of it, man, it's tough. You got to keep you got to do it year after year after year. If you're a European player and you're from Germany or something, you're gonna get the benefit of the doubt. One good season, everyone's gonna crown you as king. But American, you got to keep proving it.
Now, their entire lives are basically spent at clubs, like from a child. It's almost like you're going to boot camp to become a professional soccer player for our club ever since you're a kid. Like, school is also something that's happening. Did you experience that? Did you think, like, America will never do this? Did you think, like, for America to catch up, we have to have get our guys in, like Gio Reyna and Pulisic, get our guys into these camps? Because it feels like we're way behind in the way they treat soccer versus the way we do.
Yeah, systematically, Pat, it's just completely different systematically. Like, there is no other sport, you understand? So you go to these countries, and it just isn't. You know, like in England, there's cricket and there's rugby, and a couple people play cricket, a couple people play rugby, but everybody plays soccer. And so, you know, all of us played different sports growing up, right? So you can imagine it doesn't really work in the American system. Like, if you put me in an academy at 10 years old in New Jersey, I'd be like, no, I want to play basketball. Baseball's in the spring. Like, I would have fought back against that. Where these kids in England and Europe, they're like, yeah, if soccer's everything. 10 years old, that's all they want to do. So it's a different system. It's hard to replicate because, again, there's no other sports.
You can't say this, but I can. We're about to win the Soccer Lombardi in Qatar.
Yep.
And then we're going to win it again when it comes over
Back
to
home.
North America.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, this team has a shot, right? Am I completely delusional in thinking this? I feel like we have the talent and the vibe in the culture to maybe make a run. And why am I completely wrong? And why does every single European fan of this show tweet me and tell me I'm the dumbest human of all time every time I say it? I feel like this team's different. Do you believe that?
Well, you're slightly delusional, but not for that opinion.
Okay. Yes.
No, listen, it's so hard. This team. Do I think this team is talented? Yeah. Do I think they're young and they're brash and they're hungry? Yeah, I do. I think they have the ability to be one of the best teams if they fulfill the potential. But man, World Cup's hard. It's hard. Like, getting out of the group is hard, let alone winning another 3-4 games. It'll be tough for this team.
Yeah, but we've had the greatest goalie that's ever played in the World Cup in the United States. We already got that record. 15 saves, one game. Belgique, how could you ever forget it? You were on fire, standing on your goddamn head out there, Tim. How come these boys can't do it? Let's assume they will. Let's go win this thing, Tim.
What do we say?
Let's go win this thing in Qatar.
Go, boys.
Why not?
All right, let's talk about this weekend. Championship of the Champions League. Liverpool goes to win their third trophy, hopefully on Saturday, after Aston Villa shits down their leg.
Come on, Villa.
And Liverpool can't win 4 of them, with Man City scoring 3 goals in like 5 minutes. European soccer, and you talked about all the other athletes that are getting in there. I feel like America, with the deal that they have Saturday mornings, you wake up, you watch this, you get invested. Is there a trophy to be won every single weekend? In how many of these, like this one this weekend matters, right? This one is the big one, the granddaddy. 700 million people will be watching this one.
Yeah, it's, the Champions League final is like, obviously the Premier League is everything to these players, and you go 38 games, and if you're the best, then you're crowned champion. The Champions League is the best in Europe, and it is so much prestige behind the trophy. So yeah, if Liverpool can win this and be crowned, kings of Europe again, it's monumental for them.
When are the Portland Timbers going to get invited to the
question.
Champions League?
Yes.
When is the MLS going to get invited into the Champions League? Is there ever going to be a day where that's going to happen, Tim, or probably not?
Probably never, unless they somehow move to Europe, but doubt it.
Well, how about the Euros? There's another thing. The Euros that took place, the Europes, like, we were the CONCACAF champions. Did they not want to go title for title because we won the CONCACAF and they won the Euros? How come we don't get invited to any of these things?
Yeah, there's this regional geographic thing going on, but
That's bullshit.
it is. We can petition FIFA. I'm sure there's a way.
Hey, is Messi going to come to the MLS? And if Messi comes and other guys come, is the MLS potentially ever going to be like a legit soccer league in the world, especially if we're having good showings at the World Cup and everything like that? And does it have to become a good league for America to get the respect you think worldwide?
Yeah, look, the MLS has grown leaps and bounds. And I'll tell you what, it is a very, very much a top league. But what I would say is we've seen a lot, to answer your Messi question, we've seen a lot of international superstars come to America. He's going to come. That's, the rumors seem to be true. But honestly, I'll tell you this, Pat.
From Barcelona to Miami.
it will be like nothing we've ever seen. This guy, I swear to you, he's a god. I've witnessed it. I've played against him. I've seen people. He walks on water. The fanfare that's going to surround if he goes to Miami, it'll be like since Pele. Honestly, it's crazy if that happens.
So when you're watching him, it's just like, oh, that guy's different. You said walking on water. The ball's just on a string. It's easy. And can he bend the ball? Did he embarrass you? Have you been embarrassed by Methy?
No, we played twice, and I don't think he scored, but who knows? Yeah, but he's a joke. I mean, he's the greatest. Him and Ronaldo for me are the greatest players of all time. And it's on a string. You can't get away from him. We had his game plan. It was great. It was like, remember when in Super Mario Brothers when he got the star and he bolted up and he was rainbow, he could run through everything.
Yes.
But we had his game plan when we played Messi, and we worked all week and how we're going to get him 2 players around him. As soon as the whistle blew, nobody could touch him. Everybody wanted to stay away from him because he's that special.
Yeah, he's the blue shell.
He is.
He is the blue shell in that entire thing. He's kind of disappeared since going to PSG after leaving Barcelona.
Yeah.
But Messi in Miami would be fucking electrifying.
It would be.
Make it happen.
Let's go, Bex. Fucking get the deal done.
What do you
Bring him
say?
in.
Let's go. Get the whole thing done. Were you ever offered a team to play for?
Not an entire team. You know, they just kind of brought me in, but we had some good times in Colorado.
Did you love it? How big of a difference was it? Mentally preparing for the games, like whenever you're over there for Everton or Man U or whoever, and you're in those games preparing, is it the same preparation when you go into the MLS? Do you feel like you're more of a leader now, more of a star in the MLS? Because is it different for you at all coming back and playing?
Yeah, it was all those things. I felt, again, more of a leader, more of a cornerstone of a franchise. But my preparation was the same. I think when you do it for 20 years, it's impossible to prepare any different. You know what I mean?
Who's the best you ever faced shot?
Thierry Henry.
Ooh, Henry.
Really? How come?
Why? What does he do?
Well, he does everything, and that was the hard part. There's certain players you can kind of pin down and get like a bit of a rhythm on how to do things. He was magical, man. He could. May it embarrass you.
Did anybody like the ball come off their foot differently than other people, like incredibly strong legs or anything like that? Whenever you would see it, and shit, I did not expect that.
Yeah, but the hardest shot was Didier Drogba. He played for Chelsea, and he was an animal, man. Left foot, right foot, he just hit the leather off the ball. So you're just trying to get out of the way, but like if it goes in, you're like not that terribly upset because it didn't hit you. So, yeah.
Scared to death of a guy kicking a ball. These penalties feel like this is how every soccer game that matters ends now. Did you consider yourself a great penalty goalie, a good penalty goalie, and what's the strategy there?
I wasn't bad. Yeah, I wasn't bad. I enjoyed when I went to penalties because it's like you get to be the hero. And if it doesn't go your way, it's not as if it's your fault, So I think that goalkeepers, as you know, don't get much clout. So that was kind of our time to shine. But yeah, I agree with you. Most of these big games, they start to go to penalties towards the end for sure.
Well, in football, in big games, you got to be able to run the ball and stop the run. In these big games, you got to have a fucking goalie who can stop a penalty.
That's right.
I need at least one stop out of the 5. Need one, right? Is that the goal?
That's it. At least one. I'll always get one.
Is that true? If we go back, are you fucking Tim Howard's always going to get at least one out of that?
For the most part.
Okay, all right, I understand. Go ahead, Tone.
Tim, there's been a lot of talk about the U.S. men's national team having like an A team and kind of like a B team and like not always in the biggest games. Does it feel like they trot out their quote-unquote best players or most talented players that are playing over in Europe and stuff like that? Is there a reason? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably accurate. The calendar, the games there's so many games, and so I think
trophies.
The manager Greg Berhalter, he has to kind of manage how he puts his team out, and they're traveling from Europe, and then 2 days later they have a game, so it's physiologically it's difficult. So then they have to travel again down to Central America and play a game, and so by the time the quick turnaround happens, it's so hard. These guys run high intensity 13K a game. And then you're asking, with the flights and then to try and recover. So even though you might be the best player, it might not be conducive to then play on a Saturday and then a Tuesday again because they just don't have it.
Tim, who are some of your mentors? You look up to guys like, Tony Meola, I know was a guy that popped into everybody's head for a while. Casey Keller, stud. Like, are these people your friends and your peers?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy thing. I mean, Tony Meola was everything in the early, mid-'90s. And, like, I signed with the Metro Stars, who are now the Red Bulls, and I was the second goalkeeper, and Tony was the starter. And, man, he took me under his wing. He was brilliant to me. But, like, you want to talk about looking up to somebody, and then all of a sudden, like, they're your roommate on the road. It was crazy. And then, of course, when I got to the national team, Casey Keller was the number one goalkeeper. So, yeah, man, taught me a lot. Some good friends of mine.
Yeah, the mindset of goalies is interesting, right? You guys get compared to other sports like pitchers, golfers. I think like you're kind of an isolated position that do something vastly different than the rest of the sport. Vastly different than the rest of the sport. That goalkeeper room, probably a pretty big deal for the goalkeeper that's a starter.
Yeah, and I tell you what, people often talk about they lie and they're full of shit because, you know, when you're a second goalkeeper, in order to play, you got two options. You hope that the other guy messes up or he gets injured. Never, ever, ever want to wish injury on anybody. So that leaves one option. So when I was a second goalkeeper, I always hoped the guy screwed up. You know, like, because there's no other way for me to play. But, you know, you'll hear a lot of people say, like, there's a togetherness and all that, but it's a little crap.
Go ahead, Gumpy.
Yeah, Tim, with Man City getting Haaland, is anybody going to be able to touch this team next season?
Man, it's crazy. We talk about this every week.
It's crazy.
It's going to be well, the only team that's going to be able to touch them is Liverpool. I mean, the other team so far behind. If you look at the points total that Liverpool and Manchester City have had over the last 3 or 4 years, it's like there's like 100-point difference from the other teams. But with Haaland, it's scary, man. It's scary. Like, this guy scores goals for fun on a team that already scores goals for fun. Like, the rich get richer, man. It's going to be frightening.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be a fucking wagon, huh? Hey, boys? Maybe win the championship over there?
They'll never get a Champions League.
No, they might win Champions League next year.
They're never going to do it. It'll never happen.
They might. You don't know. You don't know shit. You don't know anything, Gump. About sorry, Gump. This is the wrong time to do this, but Man City might be the team next year.
You taking Liverpool or Real this weekend, Tim?
I want to say Liverpool, but they played 63 games, which, you know, that's the most games you can play. They've been to the final of 4 cup competitions, which means 63 is literally the max. And the way they play high intensity, high press, high line, man, they got a lot of miles on their legs. So
oh no,
Tim, don't do it. Is that because you were at Everton?
No, listen, I think Liverpool have been fantastic under Klopp. So no disrespect there. I mean, look, I Premier League, I hope they win. I do.
Oh, okay, but you don't think they're going to, though. You said your heart one way, brain though the complete opposite.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, like I said,
no. That's bad.
Not good for Gump.
Good round, Gump.
He's getting deported too, Tim. That's his team. Liverpool's his team, and then he's also getting kicked out of the country.
Fuck.
Oh man.
Tough day, love.
Sweet chains, though.
Sweet, yeah.
Chains.
You do the
beard,
fuck.
hat, chains, it's all happening, man.
Look at that!
Full circle, Tim. Here we go.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Tim, obviously we talked about Pulisic and kind of the U.S. team kind of going on this different run. Is this like the new standard now? Like, are the kids that are pretty young, are they also going to be like Pulisic and everyone else on the team, or will it kind of plateau off and go back to what it used to be?
No, they certainly set a standard, and look, you have to be good enough to go over to a European club and at that age. But we're seeing it more often, you know, certainly over the last 5 or 10 years. So, do I think the standard's been set? Yeah, I do. But it's also a good thing because I think because of those guys, we're seeing a bunch of other young, you know, American talent get scouted and bought and brought over there, which is just kind of how we started the discussion. The respect factor for young American players is going up. So that's a good thing.
When we win the Soccer Lombardi in Qatar, are they just going to shit their pants the rest of the world? How mad will everybody be, Tim? Just so I know.
Yeah, it would turn the sport upside down. I can assure you that. Yeah.
I can't fucking go.
Here we go.
Yeah, I can't fucking wait. We're going to turn the world upside down.
Hell yeah. We are.
Sorry about it. It's our game now. You guys had it far too long. Sorry about it.
Now.
I wish Tim was around whenever we were doing this, Tim, but you're still covering the game. I wish you were playing for everything you've done, but sorry about it. It's our fucking game, and it's soccer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ty.
Speaking of Qatar, Tim, is there any way these guys can train to like acclimate their bodies to be playing in 175-degree heat? And also, how many of these guys are pissed off that it's in Qatar and, you know, they're not playing games in like Paris or, you know, one of these other countries?
Well, I think the stadiums are air conditioned and it will be in their winter, so it's still gonna be hot. Yeah, Yeah, no. Look, when you make it to a World Cup, when I'm telling you that now, it's the pinnacle. It's literally everything any soccer player ever dreams of. So these guys, even if it was played in their backyard, they wouldn't care where it is. So just the fact that they'll be able to hang their hat on the fact that they went to a World Cup, played in a World Cup, it's special. It doesn't matter where it is.
Before we let you get out of here, and we can't thank you enough for your time. You're awesome, Tim. Hey, I was a big fan, obviously, for a long time. Getting to meet you, you kind of dodged me on the tattoo thing, but yeah, fucking, it's been fantastic.
Back.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. Did you ever think about kicking footballs? Obviously, you have a goal for Everton in the Premier League. It's a fucking full field rifle. Had to feel so good. Coming off the foot, watching it fly, and it's like, oh shit, that could potentially go in. Then it actually going in a Premier League game had to be bananas. Strong leg. Ever think about kicking a ball, and could you talk about that day a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I'll start back to front. You and another friend of mine are NFL kickers, and there's way too many variables. I can kick a ball 100 times. Doesn't really matter where it goes, as long as I get it up and some distance on it, everything's fine.
Got it.
Way too many variables to kick a football. So no. It was. I gotta be honest. I got a good leg, but there was gale force winds, and I've never kicked the ball that far in my life. So I don't know what happened, but it goes down in history. So I'm happy with it.
First attempt ever at a shot, or had you tried before? Oh no. No, that's
get away. No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't reach. I never attempted a shot. I couldn't reach.
Well, the drop kick there became the thing for goalies, and then there was like the sidewinding punt that became the thing. Did you bounce through all of those, or did you always have a specific motion that you've had since you were a kid?
Yeah, it's kind of. I've adapted a little bit, but I got more towards that sidewinding motion as I got later in my career. Yeah.
Why? Because it chopped the ball. Did you have more accuracy, or you felt like it flew further?
Everything. You got more distance and accuracy in the distance. So, it helped spring the attacks. And as you know, goalkeepers now they're asked to help. In terms of playing out of the back and attacking. So.
How's your legs now after having to just bomb balls?
Gone. Terrible.
Knees bad.
Hips.
Oh, that's because you're fucking doing this side.
Yeah.
I mean, you're asking for it. I think.
Can't get my leg up that high anymore.
Yeah. Well, you're the man. We appreciate you joining us. Good luck to Liverpool.
Yeah, I guess.
Guys, good luck to Liverpool this weekend. Can't wait to get in the World Cup stuff. And thank you for stopping by and being for an absolute legend.
Pat, thank you. Thank you, guys. Great to see you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got a busted. Hey, what happened to that pinky?
It's broken. It's all happened.
I thought you had those finger savers. Didn't you guys have those finger savers?
Nah, bro. It's broken, cracked.
Oh, nah, yeah.
okay,
That's because
James.
Didier Drogba, dude. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Howard. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Tim.
Beast.
He was very, 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 very good.
Unbelievable.
And super cool.
For a long time, too, I feel like.
Yeah, super cool, too. The tats, the leg tats.
Yeah.
Because in between his shorts and his socks, there'd be just a full tat stream, basically. And then his arm, he was awesome.
Yeah, that guy's the man.
Yeah, he was awesome.
You know, what's an incredible shame is, in about a month from now, middle of June, end of June, when we got just baseball, we could have the World Cup to carry us through till football this year, but instead it's in Qatar and it's going to be in the middle of November when we're definitely going to care about it as much as we could.
Let's get to a break. Fuck FIFA.
The real shame is that we have to bet on Real Madrid on Saturday.
Yeah, no kidding.
Our hearts are with Liverpool.
Yes.
Always.
Never walk alone. We had a big boost coming. Remember that? We got to change
yes, we
that.
did.
Got to get rid of that.
What is this about?
And the Red Sox own Liverpool. I want to pull for Liverpool.
It's 63 games already.
Bro, these dudes are running 13 Ks every fucking game.
They're
High
fresh,
line,
dude. They got
high
a good
pressure.
squad. They rotate a lot. They're fine. They're ready. This is revenge.
Okay, yeah.
False alarm.
Sure.
Yeah, what does Tim know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Nothing but everything.
We're back in 4 minutes. We'll answer some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. I believe there's a 20% off code right now.
What?
Hey-o.
20% off, yeah. Go to 5hourenergy.com, number 5, hour, H-O-U-R, energy, ENERGY.com. Use promo code PAT20.
Nice.
From now to June 2nd. Get 20% off your... Do it.
Here we go.
Listen, everybody's buying everything online nowadays. I think instead of... You could buy 5 Hour Energy straight from 5hourenergy.com as opposed to having to go through somewhere else where it's probably more fees on top of it. They show up in the boxes too.
Yeah, gonna need it for Memorial Day weekend.
Oh yeah,
Big
about to be a
time.
long weekend. Go ahead and do it. 20% off. Pat20 at 5RNG.com. We'll hit that phone line on the other side and cover any breaking news that we have. And then in the third hour, you're going to want to be here. Nice media players relations breakdown and conversation. AJ, I'm pumped for it.
I honestly haven't seen anything of what you're setting up, so I'm excited.
Okay, well, I'll let you know. While I was taking the pre-show grump, I sat there and I visualized how we should go about explaining the entirety of the situation, and we will let others judge.
Okay. I'm excited.
It's real journalism, third hour.
Here we go.
Hell yeah.
Going to want to see it. Can't wait for it. Back and forth with the 5RNG phone line. Cheers. Everybody assumed that the Packers were going to try to get some weapons, and nobody has heard from you since Davante Adams got moved to the Las Vegas Raiders. When that move happens, obviously we know the connection and the relationship that you and Davante have. You've talked about it on this show ad nauseum and how much respect you have for him. Did that surprise you? Obviously you're not going to be able to replace a Davante Adams, but how has that conversation evolved with the Packers from you, and what do you think are going to be the steps going forward?
Well, we've had a lot of success with the second and third round receivers in Green Bay. You look at Greg Jennings and Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, James Jones in the third round, obviously Davante Adams in the second round. Those guys turned out pretty good. So I'm not sure. I think we're about to pick here in a second, but you know, it was a little surprising with Davante. Obviously, when I made my decision, I was still thinking he was going to come back. You know, I was very honest with him about my plans and my future and where I saw, you know, my career going as far as how many years I wanted to play. But I felt like, you know, he was going to be back. Didn't obviously turn out that way, but I have so much love for Tay and appreciate the time we spent together, and definitely wish him the best with Derek in Vegas. But that's a big hole to fill for sure.
Yeah, Davante's an absolute stud. And thank you for talking about that, by the way. I think people are going to be intrigued to hear that. Whenever you said that it did surprise you a little bit, I saw Mad Mel Kiper shake his head. But it doesn't sound like you are that pissed off about it either. You understand business is business, and you have faith and trust in Goody and LaFleur and everybody over at Green Bay, much more now than maybe in the past?
Well, it is the business. You know, it's a tough business. It's a wonderful profession. And those of us who've been blessed to play for so long realize that completely. And there's a lot of things that happen that surprise you, even still. And I thought that based on the number that we offered Davante and, you know, being able to play with me for a few more years would definitely make a difference. But in the end, I think he was ready to move on and wanted my help in making that happen. And it was a tough position to be in for sure, because I love him and I care about him and want him to be happy. And he's definitely going to be missed.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, we got. Jesus.
On that.
Fuck.
Come around. Got it.
Oh! For birdie finish. Ah!
Welcome back to the show. Currently 15% off the professional wrestling shirt. Gumpy's pick. The last one Gumpy's going to make for a little bit.
Thank you, Gump.
Good shirt. Good shirt. Love this shirt.
Store.McAfeeShow.com, 15% off. This is Gumpy's pick. Gump, we appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Gump.
you,
Thank
boys.
you, Gump.
If you buy that shirt too, there's a chance he doesn't get deported. So sure you buy it.
Don't we have a free Gump shirt too?
Yeah, I don't know. Do we? Have we put that up?
I thought
It's
I saw
up.
someone buy it. Yeah.
Okay. So the free Gump shirt is up there, and a portion of the proceeds will go to Gump's Airbnb back in Canada. Airbnb back in Canada. He got off the call. Last night was a good call, though, I think.
Yeah, it was awesome to actually have a phone call with your lawyer instead of sending 27 emails to get a response to the wrong name.
Oh, boy.
Got it, baby.
Do they know your name?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
What we're saying is things are looking up for old Gumpy.
That's right.
Long term.
Still going to have to. Yeah, long term.
So there's a plan, though. You feel safe, like there's a plan in place.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, looking into the other file a bit more, there is a lot of, I'm a podcast programmer was what I was called. In the
So I think the
application.
reason why is because like radio stations, they have programmers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they tried to make it like compared to how radio stations would operate for your job. I think that was everything that they were trying to do early in the emails. So they weren't actually saying what Gumpy would do. It felt like they were always, we're smarter than you are, basically, is what they were telling us. This won't work. This is what you need. I wrote a thesis on Gumpy on why, and they literally said, save that. Yeah. We just need to hear, what he does.
The bones.
It's like, all right, are humans like what the fuck? These people.
The screenshot of your Wikipedia was sweet, though. I'm surprised that didn't get me into the country.
All right, let's go to the.
Wait,
phones.
the lawyers put that in one of your.
And here's
documents?
the thing: we aren't learning any of this until months after it has already happened, right? Like they're talking to us like we're idiots. Then they go do something. Then we find out like a month or two later what they did, and it obviously didn't get ruled upon for a month and a half until afterwards. And then boom. No, sorry, not going to work. Need to extend this a little bit more. That happened for like 3-4 different situations, phases of this whole thing.
So they just loafed through this whole process. They weren't doing their work, and that's why. Oh, so, like Gump, are you serious? You send 20-some emails before you get one back?
Whoa.
Yeah, it was.
Gumpy was. This is his life. I mean, Gumpy would be like, "Excuse me," because there would be a deadline coming up, and then they would be like, "Oh, we've extended it." Like that's basically how.
The original
Yeah, that's
lawyer
basically how
that we
it's
were
all
given has not replied to me since I've been in America.
But what
Loafed
if
is problematic?
Yeah.
Honestly, though, what
overseeing
happens?
it, though.
Let's say Goop goes out Saturday night. He's taking pics by the fountain over there downtown Indy. He's got sweet shoes on. He finds a gal. He falls in love. He elopes. He gets married. Is he allowed to stay?
It's fascinating. It's very fast. I've seen it in movies. I've seen it. I've heard about it in books. And I would assume with the way our government works, everything would just be coordinated quickly.
Oh, yeah. Could be a Kevin James movie with that.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Yes, that's what it's about. Yeah.
Firefighters.
Yes.
Good movie, actually.
But I mean, at least now we got a goal. Well,
Maybe
me and
Sandler's
Guppy
last
will
one.
go out and get him a goddamn wife and get him married.
All right, DTB.
Why don't you two
Okay.
get
out.
married like Chuck and
We
Larry?
could do that.
Are you a citizen, Connor?
Of America?
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, do it. Sign him up.
Well,
What
both
are we
the
even
question
doing?
and the response, both, we all got dumber for. Is he a citizen? Yes.
What do you
Your
think?
response.
Were you
worse.
confident in that?
Boston Connor being a citizen of the United States of America?
right.
You would like to give credit to another country for this? No way, dude. This is America. We did it. We did that.
Hell yeah.
Okay? We did
You're
that.
right. The more I look at him, yeah. True.
Yes.
He is through and through.
Steve Kime said, hey, listen,
That's
I gather
right.
envy from that
Yeah.
American bucket right there.
Cardinals' second favorite team in the NFL now.
Let's go, huh? Bird
we
Gang. No, Bird Gang's Philly, right?
Yeah.
We're Red Sea, baby.
Red Sea.
There it is.
Let's go to the phones. 5Energy phone line. Go to 5energy.com. Use promo code PAT20 for 20% off. It will be worth it. Let's go to Austin in Texas. Austin, what's going on, pal? Why?
Pat, boys, how we doing?
Doing? We gotta get something.
Hey, appreciate you having me on. So I got some ideas about the Pro Bowl. I know I'm about 2 days late from the talk.
Never too late. No decisions have been made yet, Texas Rattlesnake. Go ahead and let it out, Austin.
Hey, I appreciate it. So I got an idea here that I think revolves more so around the skills challenge, but I think if we did like a March Madness bracket per team in the dodgeball event, and winner takes all, you have everybody represented: O-line, quarterback, running back, tight end, wide receiver, D-line,
So
things
every
of that
team's in a
nature.
Pro Bowl, every
I
player's
think
in a
that
Pro
would be awesome. I think people would tune in. It would be a great camaraderie. Maybe
Austin!
dodgeball.
Austin!
Yes.
They already played dodgeball.
Yeah, they already played dodgeball, don't
Yeah,
they? What's wrong with it?
Let's move that to the actual Pro Bowl game alternative.
Okay.
Where they have a elimination
Before or after
bracket.
7 on
The winner
7?
takes like a $1 million. Everybody gets to divvy it up.
And is every team just the AFC and the NFC, or each individual teams?
Yeah, I have an idea that it's, you know, you have your division first, so NFC East faces each other, and it's just a bracket style of dodgeball. You can do 3-point contests, whatever it may be. But
so you
I think
represent
that
your
would be great.
division. You represent your division as opposed to your conference, because some teams aren't going to have nearly enough. But you would assume every division would have at least enough to field a team for dodgeball, for basketball, for everything else that you are talking about.
Absolutely, and I think it should honestly just be per team. You send a O lineman, quarterback.
No, because then everybody's in a Pro Bowl. Hey, this isn't the pro. This isn't the average bowl, dude. Come on.
But it could do.
I do like the division shit though for dodgeball. I don't mind
say
that.
like the Eagles have like 7 Pro Bowlers and the Commanders have 1. It's just 7-on-1 for that dodgeball game.
No, well, I think the division's on the same team.
No, I know.
So
but if
the
you
one
wanted to do it-
commander would be on the Eagle. Yeah, I guess. Because
Hey, sorry, have more Pro Bowlers.
Your team's in a worse spot. Yeah, we have 8 Pro Bowlers. We have 8 people you have to get out to your 2 people. That's quite a draw, whoever's drawing who. You know what I mean? Who's going to play against who to get in
I mean,
there?
dodgeball is very fun to play. Is it that fun to sit? Is it appointment TV that you're going to tune in?
People love the clips. So people have fallen in love with the clips every single year. I tried to watch the entire thing, and the way they had the one camera angle on the dodgeball was bad. It was bad. It was bad. The way it was kind of... Sounds like we're burying. There's probably some good people behind them. No,
Maybe,
they
probably
did.
not.
It was a mess.
Bring in Brady's
everybody
production
gets,
crew.
Everybody get. What's that?
Bring in Tom Brady's
What are they gonna
production
fake?
crew.
Shadow line coming in with the drone, or was that that wasn't Shadow?
What are they
Line?
going to have? Fake balls flying all over the place and stuff?
Whoa!
What are you talking about?
Thank you, AJ. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just never heard a fucking golf ball hit a green and go clink clink and then fucking rattle around the cup. Fucking
The
sound effect.
Did you hear how
Sound effects,
good
man.
that fucking
Internet.
microphone was on the drone, dude?
You quit golf too.
I did.
Why'd you quit golf?
Can't.
Stink?
Can't do it. Won't do it.
Because you stink? Bad for the heart?
Used to be okay.
Is that why you're mad at Tom Brady? Because he's getting hole-in-ones in the middle of the fairway?
I always,
Myocarditis.
I always quit things when I used to be okay at them, and now I stink at them.
Nick.
No, but you can turn it back around.
No, I don't think it's possible.
So much time.
I don't have the effort or care.
Okay, well, I mean, that's certainly you, but just know that is an actuality. That is not an actuality.
What do you mean?
You can get back better at something.
I don't
Just
think
because you
that's
stink at something doesn't mean you just
No,
have
my
to quit.
body has fucking.
Get
It
back
might
on
be
the
good for your
horse.
heart, dude.
Now,
my heart's actually.
coming out of the
solid.
COVID cave, we don't know how anybody's heart is. Please, thank you. Honestly, I had it as well. I don't know what's up with my heart. I think at this point
Our
now,
hearts.
All of us.
every person's heart.
Not me.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Foxy.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Just jinxed
Foxy. I don't even want to hear it. Jeez, Louise.
What if they pick teams like the NBA All-Star Game, where like it's just a draft and then they go?
Have they done that before?
How many? Yeah, I was.
They did it for the game.
My first Pro Bowl, there was a
game.
draft, and I'll tell
for
you
dodgeball.
what. That was the first draft. Boy, that was a terrible idea.
Okay, so they tried it already.
The guy who got picked last, Pro Bowler, one of the best football players on earth, last pick of the draft, had like a chip on his shoulder now going.
Yeah.
It's like, golly.
I like the division thing, and then like we talked about, you just have a dunk contest, you have a home run derby, you play
Yeah.
dodgeball.
Yeah.
Who cares about the divisions? Just bring back the cool stuff where they're driving the golf cart with the big arrow and you dip the tip of the ball in the chalk.
That too.
Do the quarterback competition
Yeah,
where
that's a
they're
good
throwing at those moving targets. That's always.
Hold on.
That's one of my favorite things to watch.
The new quarterback carnival is better than the old quarterback carnival, but I do have nothing but respect for the golf carts that used to drive the targets back and forth and the players, because they had the golf cart so that these robots could do what the quarterback carnival does now, okay? Had to crawl before we could walk and run. I liked quarterback carnival. We should do more of that. I think at the different
225
positions.
bench would be cool. They won't do it though because someone will tear a pec. Like players don't want to get in there.
Put real money on it though.
I know. Still though, like even if a dude's making a lineman's making 18 mil a year, you think he's like, okay, I'm gonna risk this for $1 million?
It doesn't have to be every single offensive lineman. Like the guys don't want to do it.
I would imagine any O lineman, no matter how much he's making, if he feels like he has a good chance to win, he's going to enter that.
I agree. For like $1 million or something like that, like that's a lot of fucking money. No matter how much you're making, no matter who you are, you get $1 million prize. You'll get in there. Not everybody has to get in there. By the way, the other guys still there. Don't make them wear the stupid tight jerseys. Maybe put like a hoodie or a t-shirt that make it a whole celebration basically of events and festivities. I think you should have concerts there live. I think it should be like a whole...
Just how do you make it cool for TV is the question.
Clips is all we should be looking for, personally.
Yeah. Does Raj understand that?
No.
Maybe.
Raj
is
yeah.
open-minded.
Do you think location matters at all for that? Like, not, I mean...
Location.
But does the money supersede, like if it's in a place, like when you said you go to Arizona, it's not in Hawaii, guys are showing up and they're kind of just...
Arizona is gorgeous.
Right.
It's beautiful. They put us out in the middle of the desert, 3-hour drive, 3 hours round trip, all the way out there for practice, all the way back. Didn't shut down the hotel to outside people. So there was a convention happening in the hotel that the Pro Bowlers was in. I was like, oh, they're just fucking me. And then no, J.J. Watt walked through the lobby and 45 people attacked him. Hour 3's on the other side. This is the Pro Bowl, huh? Is what I said. That's literally, I was like, we just lost by 50 to the fucking Patriots.
Hell yeah.
It's cold as shit out here.
Wait, was that right after Deflategate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had a pretty good tweet that went pretty good. I was sitting at the Pro Bowl drinking strawberry marks.
Hell yeah.
And I was wondering out loud on Twitter if the Patriots were potentially going to get suspended for the Super Bowl because of what happened. Maybe I need to lay off these marks. That one went. Then some local D4 football player took a shot at me about being a punter or something like that. And I felt I was in the mood. So I had time, so I went into his entire life, basically, that he had on Twitter. Made the kid quit Twitter after one tweet.
Nice.
He went on to do an interview about how I bullied him off of the internet or whatever after he opened the door. It was quite a couple days there at the Pro Bowl for me, pretty active. I
What
just
did you
won
say
the
to
Walter
him?
Payton Man of the Year, I think, at that point. It was just... I was just he was talking shit about me at the position I played, and then I looked up the school he played at, and I told him how the program would read if I was to go to that school, and it was basically like quarterback Pat McAfee, running back Pat McAfee, tight end Pat McAfee, offensive line Pat McAfee, linebacker Pat McAfee, safety Pat McAfee, coach Pat McAfee, and I think I ended with like your daddy. Pat McAfee basically at the end of it. Like they looked up this offensive line was like 5'10", 210 or something like that. It's like I would have 45 sacks. I would have 45 sacks against your school if I was to do that. And, it was an interesting situation. I had to answer some questions about it. This kid quit Twitter now because of it and everything. I'm like, I feel bad.
You're supposed to apologize?
They were looking for it. Good news is I couldn't find it in me.
They're still looking.
No fucking way.
I couldn't find it in me. But I did. I think he and I have moved past it since.
No, for sure. You guys have definitely moved past it.
That was years and years and years and years ago. But it was immediately after Deflategate. Then they wanted, the first day I was there, the community event was to drive an hour into the desert or something to some school. And not a school, it was a community something.
Community center? Like, were you building playgrounds or what?
Yes. Pouring concrete.
Nice.
Pouring concrete for a new
Isn't that
walkway.
Diggs' dad?
Yeah, listen, I've been around a lot of concrete workers growing up in Pittsburgh, okay? I've been around a lot of it. My off season in the middle of the desert is not fucking pouring cement, okay? So it wasn't the greatest experience. I think you should just turn it into a celebration. Personally, I think money got in the way. Let's move it to Arizona. Let's move it to Orlando. Let's move it to this place. It didn't feel like it got to a point where guys, you could very easily see them say, I'm not fucking going. And I'm bottom of the barrel, bottom of the totem pole, just being like, I'm not going to do all this shit. What do we even... So I played great. The league made more money off of us, literally the crew that's at the Pro Bowl, all the stars of it. We potentially get $35,000, which is a lot of fucking money. Let's not do it. We potentially get that, but then we got to fucking be in a hotel that isn't even ours with random autograph hounds every single time we leave our room. You got to do all that. the value of the Pro Bowl, I think, got diminished as soon as they started just not caring about it, And I think you can change that.
You can, yeah. I mean, it's just, like you say, make it a celebration, like a final bow on this past season of the NFL. But how do you make that something to where people actually want to watch?
We figured it out already.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Yeah. Nailed it.
Now who's going to commentate it?
Isn't it ESPN that has it?
Dan Orlovsky, maybe?
Yeah, Orlovsky, for sure, in a Hawaiian shirt, buttoned all the way down.
Bark and Aikman?
Yeah.
Oh.
I do have those guys.
That would actually be fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Joe would be good. Joe could be very good, like, commentating a dodgeball game.
Yes. Troy as well.
Troy would be pumped to be there.
Troy would be very excited that that's how he's spending one of his days of employment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Instead of out there hucking 8 beer.
What?
I think it tastes good, by the way. He's been traveling all around Texas, boots on the ground campaign to build that brand.
Really?
Looks like it tastes delicious.
Yeah, I'd love to try it.
Yeah, I think we got some here. Why
Do
don't
we?
you try it?
Let's go.
Didn't know.
Back for hour 3 on the other side. We're going to break down media-player relations like nobody else has ever done.
Wait.
Night.
What's that?
What is that?
I accidentally that slept out.
There's a credentialed member of the media who, is basically what's wrong with our society as a whole.
And there's one whole organization against him or her?
Yeah. And it's being displayed in one situation.
Can't wait. I have no clue, honestly.
We're back in 2 minutes. John! See ya! Micah Hyde softball game this past weekend with a portion of the proceeds going to the victims of the heinous, fucking terrible, despicable actions of one scumbag at a grocery store in Buffalo. Josh Allen went to the plate with ill intentions on his mind, and look what he does to this softball, AJ Hawk.
Look how high the ball is.
Yeah.
Back to back! How you doing? Are you not entertained?
Never backs out.
Dude, 6'5", 235 pounds, incredibly athletic, the confidence and moxie to be able to do things like that and become a guy in the NFL. He's becoming the prototype day in and day out. I fucking love that dude. That softball still going.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this Thursday, May 26th. It's almost June.
Jeez,
Whoa.
Louise.
Football's close. Hour 3 begins right now.
Yeah.
How many days till NFL football at Boston, Connor?
Depending on how you view a day, I would say 104 days till NFL football.
Listen to this shit. People did a little fact checking on old Mr. Countdown to Football, Boston Connor. Turns out he's about a year or a day off.
And it wasn't even people doing it. I just thought in my head, like, I should just count now and make sure I am where I am. And there's a chance I'm not where I am, but it's right around there.
He was counting down to the Wednesday before the
yeah.
game on Thursday
Who would have
because
thought?
if you get to Wednesday,
should be one. There should be 1 day till football on the Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Then I
Yes.
think you're in the right.
Yeah.
So you're not wrong.
I don't think I'm wrong.
How many days?
104 days.
Stop fucking doubting yourself.
I don't. Hey,
But
look.
Wednesday at
Hey, if you're gonna
11:58.
listen, if you're gonna do a countdown and
Yeah.
then coming to have
You can
confidence.
check this pretty easily.
I know. Well, believe me, I've counted it like 8 different times, and I still don't know if I'm right. I've been counting down since like 220 days.
This is exactly like whenever we try to guess the amount of years that somebody played professionally with their
yes.
Wikipedia. Do we count the first year? Do you count the last year? Is it the years in between?
Patty Maroon.
Exactly. Before we came on the air, we couldn't figure out how many years Patty Maroon played. Is it 11? Is it 12, 13 of them? We tried to do the math. We couldn't figure out. So I just left it out of the introduction. And if I was going to, More than a decade.
Yeah.
I just Googled it. How many days until NFL football? There is a website dedicated to it, and it says 105 days until the kickoff game on September 8th.
Oh, no.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Until the kickoff game. So they're saying like at 8:20
Could have probably checked
tonight.
that site about 100 days ago.
I mean, the site could be wrong as well.
This is like the year
Don't
zero,
you think
though.
to be accurate?
This is.
Yeah, because when you turn 33, you're actually about to do your 34th year.
Right. Yes.
You had just completed your 33rd year, your 34th year, your 35th year.
Yeah.
Because you start out 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, then you become one.
Right.
That's the issue that we're running into right now.
Yeah. So I counted like 4 times yesterday. I should have just left it, and if I was
Why don't you just go
wrong,
to the fucking website?
because who knows if the website's right? And what rules are they playing by? Like, is it going to be 104 days when they get to 8 o'clock tonight?
Because then they're on the same page as you. It's kind of an overlapping little time.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Everything's so hard.
Everything is so dumb.
Fucking game.
Speaking of dumb, I felt like a big bad dummy when I watched a video of Javon Kinlaw and a media member for the San Francisco 49ers who has a credential to go into the building every single day, be a part of the press pool, walk around the locker room, walk around practice, and he's on the field, I think, game day and afterwards in the locker room, a fully credentialed member of the media interviewing Javon Kinlaw of the San Francisco 49ers, and it got pretty hostile. And I thought to myself, man, what the fuck is going on here? This guy, I mean, I love what he's saying. I enjoy what he's saying. But the NFL and the Niners are not going to be happy about this at all. This took place a couple days ago between Javon Kinlaw and a credentialed member of the NFL media, Grant Cohn.
Put some respect on my name, brother. I'm a man just like you. My nuts is bigger than yours, brother.
I asked you what I said about you.
My balls is bigger than yours, brother. Put some respect on my name.
All right, Javon.
Put some respect on my name, brother. Stop talking about me like I'm an animal or something, brother.
What did I say about you?
Don't worry about none of that. Don't worry about none of that. You already know.
Javon, if you're gonna come on my channel,
you want to try to bring me
tell me not
hardcore facts, bro.
You can come
Javon,
from
you're
the
gonna come on my
cognac.
channel and tell me what to say and what not to say. You should have some quotes. What did I say about you?
Nobody fucks with that. Nobody fucks with you. You don't even understand that. Nobody fucks with you, brother. You need to go find a new job. Nobody fucks with you.
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What it mean? Nobody fucks with you.
It's amazing.
Are you sure?
Nobody fucks with you, fam. And the only reason I'm getting on here stooping to your level this low is because I feel like it got to be done. Somebody got to do it, and it's going to be me. Somebody got to press you, fam. You like to come on here and try to bully people on the internet. But when I press up on you in fucking person, you fucking shaking like a coward, voice lighter than my fucking baby. What's up with that?
I'm scared of you, Javon?
What's up with that, fam?
You think I'm scared of you, Javon?
Fam, I don't give a fuck if you are or not. All I know is when I walked up on you, your fucking body temperature was fucking cold as ice. Straight bitch. Your fucking balls shriveled up. Little dick nigga.
Hey, Javon,
do you think
Javon, do you think you're representing the 49ers well right now? Javon, do you think the 49ers are proud of what you're saying right now?
Stop playing with me like
how is this not a bigger story?
Okay, so this became a massive story in the San Francisco 49ers faithful, obviously, because Grant Cohn, being a credentialed, by the NFL and by the Niners, credentialed media member in there every single day, Grant Cohn, having an interview with obviously a player for the Niners on his channel in front of the Cognacs, brother. Okay, it's his channel in front of the Cognacs. He invited him on there, so that took off. I had seen it. A lot of people tweeted it to me, and I'm like, man, like I everything he said in there. It came from what sounded like a guy who hated another person and let him know about it. He said somebody had to do it, so fuck it. I'll be the one. I hate you. Now, the way he said it, how he went about going doing it, I immediately, as soon as seen it, I'm like, oh, no, like this is going to end up terribly for Javon Kinlaw. This is going to be, the Niners are going to get so
At least
mad.
he said it to his face, and he didn't do it anonymously, or he didn't, do it behind his back.
I agree, but the way it was delivered, I thought there was going to be massive issues. Yeah. So I immediately had to think to myself, well, what has this guy done to Kinlaw or to anybody that he was referencing that would make them this pissed off. And then he provided us an answer. He actually put this video out a day after this entire event happened, just Tuesday, I believe.
I just don't understand why he's so mad. Like, Javon, what are you upset about? Is it the fact that I said you have an 80-year-old knee? Is it the fact that I said that you're a terrible pass rusher and you're just a two-down player? Is it the fact that I said the Niners shouldn't have drafted you and they should have taken Tristan Wirfs instead? Is it the fact that I said that you're unprofessional and immature? It escapes me which of the 100 negative things I've said about Javon Kinlaw the last couple of years moved him to approach me in such a way. But you know what? I applaud Javon Kinlaw for coming to speak to me direcatly.
Why didn't you say this to him when he was on your show?
What do you think Javon's mad about?
Okay, so he asked us, what do you think? And obviously, earlier in same video, he chatted about seeing Javon Kinlaw in real life at practice. And Javon Kinlaw actually put a rap song together about him. You a bitch, you a sucker ass bitch, and while he was walking around. And obviously Grant Cohn didn't say anything at the time, waited until the stadium was completely empty there that he was at, and cut a promo back. Once again, this is a credentialed member of the media, one that is probably introduced to the players. This guy will be following you around this season. He'll be in our locker room. He'll be in the building. He'll be covering our team. Not easy to get credentialed, by the way. Not easy. You have to think to yourself, how the fuck did this guy become a credentialed member of the press with this type of shit going on, especially in the NFL when it's incredibly impossible to get into it? Then he reveals the answer in another video that he was streaming live while doing a Q&A.
Hard on you, zero scared. Because look, my dad was in the industry.
I'd have been scared if he was coming to me like that.
When I was very young. Because honestly, if he touched me, if he pushed me, dude, I could have retired today.
Oh, stop.
That's what went through my mind. I'm like, oh, damn, I'm about to retire. I'm about to be out of the game. I'm about to be a multi-millionaire thanks to Javon Kinlaw. But no, I got to keep working.
Oh, yeah, got to keep working. He displays, what nepotism has done for him, okay? My dad is in the industry. I assume he's grown up really hard times and everything like that. A lot of people would say about Grant Cohn. Javon Kinlaw was actually homeless, okay, at one point in his life. Then going into the NFL, you have this rat bastard whose first thoughts whenever he is in an altercation with a team that he covers or whatever is, I'm going to sue and make money, which obviously leads to George Kittle posting about this saying, hey, excuse me, how can we have somebody in our building that is literally prying and agitating players in an attempt to potentially sue them to become a millionaire so he doesn't have to work any longer? That seems like a problem. I would assume this guy's pass and credential thing is going to get taken away soon because Eric Armstead, Solomon Thomas, George Kittle, all these, Raheem Mostert came out and went to bat for the entire situation about this guy is just a fucking problem, pretty much. Like, this guy is just a shit stirrer. And by the way, if that's how he's going to go about doing his thing, Eric Armstead said, this is the type of lowlife we let into our building. He would rather antagonize and provoke players into hitting him so he can retire instead of doing his job of journalism. That was from Eric Armstead on the team. Here's from Raheem Mostert. We're always told journalists and reporters have a job to do. Okay, understood. But this, he admitted to retirement as a multi-millionaire, went through his mind. This is unacceptable at the NFL, at the 49ers. George Kittle had something similar. Solomon Thomas, who's also on the 49ers, a consistent negative, disrespectful, and demeaning tone to players in their craft, like we are animals. Then talks about game to antagonize a player enough so he can sue him. We shouldn't have to answer to the media to this level, or answer to media of this level. The 49ers NFL should protect us better. So it's obvious that the players probably felt the same way that I felt, like, oh, Javon Kinlaw is going to get, hey, this is not going to be great, because the media-player relationship is one that is presented to you as a fashion of, hey, this has to happen. It has to go well. Every training camp, there's an entire presentation about the media and the NFL and how we're in this thing together and how your local reporters are the ones that cover the team the closest and take care of your fan base the most. It's a real thing that's chatted about in the NFL. So the fact that this guy has been in here for some time, I would assume the players are like, this guy has said 100 negative things about me, and then after a game where I'm emotional, I gotta fucking be 2 feet away from this guy, and I'm supposed to act professional when he clearly never does. It's a wild situation. It's a wild experiment, and it's all happening right here in the nepotism bubble of Grant Cohn's channel in the front of the Coniacs.
I mean, the whole situation to me, and it's my first time hearing or seeing any of this. I'm sure it looks like to me when the other 49ers players and probably coaches and front office saw this video with Kinlaw, they were like, oh, thank God, we're so happy. I think they're like, this guy did it. He did it for us. He confronted this guy, because it sounds like other players have issues with him. I know the one comment, said a consistent negative and demeaning tone towards players and critical. I just thought, how are other media outlets, are they coming out to support him? Because that's my problem. I hope the mainstream media is not oh, well, what, you don't want them to be critical of players? No, that's not what this is about. We understand they can't all be puff pieces. You have to ask tough questions and all of that. But there's a big difference between being super disrespectful and also trying to make it about yourself too. That's what this is. What's happening, I feel like, too.
Run back the video from the baseball field where he's cutting the promo, from the football field where he's cutting the promo. So, if you want to stick up for somebody and say he's just got to do his job, he's got to be critical, and that is a style of journalism, we understand. There's always going to be critics, especially journalists who have big brains, and their job is to nitpick and make things better. So I think it naturally comes hand in hand. This is vastly different than somebody that's just being a critic of a football team that's covering them as a credentialed member of the media of the NFL. Listen to this. Listen to this reaction here when nobody's around, by the way.
I just don't understand why you're so mad. Javon, what are you upset about? Is it the fact that I said you have an 80-year-old knee? Is it the fact that I said that you're a terrible pass rusher and you're just a 2-down player? Oh. Is it the fact that I said the Niners shouldn't have drafted you and they should have taken Tristan Wirfs instead? Is it the fact that I said that you're unprofessional and immature? It escapes me which of the 100 negative things I've said about Javon Kinlaw the last couple of years moved him to approach me in such a way. But you know what?
Hundreds of things.
I applaud Javon Kinlaw for coming to speak to me directly. Yeah. And I ask you, what do you think Javon's mad about?
This guy. I actually enjoy the fact that, because I view everything as WWE. This guy's a great heel. Okay, I enjoy his personality. I think he's probably an incredible internet person. I assume he does well in front of the Coniacs, and he does have supporters, because I've had a lot of people probably right now tweeting me, telling me that what Javon Kinlaw did is not becoming of an NFL player, not a role model, blah, 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 blah. It's well, he is a human, though, So if somebody's just going to shit talk, he might have had a little different back growing up than you, by the way. So if somebody who's, I would never... Probably one of the least athletic humans of all time, Grant Cohn.
Yeah, safe assumption.
Not sure. Might be good at tennis or something. Golf,
yeah,
maybe. Not 100% sure. Maybe pretty good athlete. Not sure. We'll see how he has to throw something. But whenever that person is just hundreds of negative things, he said. Hundreds of negative things is what he said. And then you just constantly have to answer to this,
yeah, right.
I mean, it becomes difficult. And I think if he's just an internet blogger, just an internet personality, has his own show, whatever the case is, the fact that he's credentialed, I think, is the biggest deal, because you know how in high regards that is held by the entire NFL, AJ.
I mean, it's huge to get credentialed to go into an NFL locker room, 4 times a week during the season, probably. I don't know if they still have an open locker rooms or not, but I think they're getting back to it, right?
Yes. We beat it. Wow.
If he keeps his credential, does he write for something? Does he work for a site? What is it? Or is it all on his channel?
I think it's SI.
Really? We are hearing that the Cohns are currently holding a press conference because Grant Cohn's dad, still alive, member of the industry, taught me some game.
Yep.
Sure.
I was thinking, I'm fucking retiring, dude. I'm multimillionaire, dude.
You said you tell me he wasn't scared?
He was obviously scared. You heard the way Javon was talking about his voice?
Yeah.
Your voice had less bass than my baby.
Cold as ice.
Javon was very good there. He got his points across.
Yes, he was great. And I'm going to be the one that's going to do it. Nobody fucks with you. What does that even mean? What you mean? What's that mean? Nobody fucks with you.
And he didn't throw his teammates under the bus too, because he didn't he basically said, hey, everybody, I am speaking for the whole 49ers organization, basically. He's trying to tell this dude without naming names and throwing his teammates under the bus too.
Yeah, listen, dude, if you were just if we didn't have to see you every single day, that is an interesting thing. Now, I assume they do, at the end of every conversation, the dude does got courage, though. I mean, he does. You know what I mean? Like, we're not allowed to do anything to him. Any other human that would say all of these things about me publicly, negative, hundreds of negative things, probably throughout life, you would be able to do something about that. But this is just media. Hey, this is just the way media is. You can't do it. So him just verbally assaulting him is something that took over the internet, and now you see the Niners players fighting back, and I'll be intrigued to see how it all ends up in the end.
Well, and you guys talk
ends
about
up, don't have to say
being credentialed too, and talking like this, and kind of like antagonizing players, then gives the average everyday fucking Joe Schmo who can walk up to a player and thinks that he can then say anything he wants because this guy who's a credentialed media for NFL can do it. Why can't I fucking do it?
This is Will Smith.
Yeah.
With the... It's crazy. Can't have it.
Would you want that? I mean, I guess it's a career path.
What did Grant Cohn say that one time? What was he talking about over there? What did he say?
What? I just don't understand why he's so mad at me. Was it the 100 negative things I said about him?
You tell me.
What do you guys think?
This guy cutting a promo, dude. That guy
Why was there cuts though? Why was there edits? He couldn't do it in one take.
No, I think it was he didn't want to list out everything. That's why he was deciding to just say hundreds of things. I couldn't sit here all day and list them all off. Or did he stutter because he's a little bit scared?
Did they have an OTA today?
I would assume.
Probably. Yeah, they're doing a presser right now. So
wait, are you serious? Like a presser? What are you talking about?
Hey, listen. I do not want to say that negative pricks don't make the internet better, right? You always need to heal, right? If it wasn't for the rain, you wouldn't appreciate the sunshine as much. I understand that there has to be people that are, negative, pessimistic, look for the negative in everything, pick people apart with their negatives and drawbacks. I understand that happens and it exists. I think just alongside every other 49er player that has spoken about this, and also other players around the NFL that have spoken out about this because of their own relationships with the media, the credentialed thing is probably everybody's problem. I think that is.
And obviously Kinlaw coming out and going on his program, his show, his channel, whatever it is, and doing this, it probably just it became too much. It boiled over. Like this obviously wasn't like a spur of the moment. Oh, hey, I'm going to let this guy know how I feel. This has been building up for a while.
You think Grant Cohn's going to have to still work? Man, still got to write terrible things about his job.
And it sounds like that's all he did. If all of Kinlaw's teammates are, backing him up, and he's going and saying the 100 of negative things that he said just about Kinlaw, like you got to assume he's probably said terrible things about everyone on the 49ers then.
Well, and they always, there's always that thing like freedom of speech is not freedom of consequence.
Yeah, it's true.
Here is a beautiful situation in real life. Hey, you're allowed to write whatever the fuck you want. On the flip side, a man that was formerly homeless has been driven his entire life to change the trajectory of his entire family, has made it to the NFL, and you have just shit on him entirely in his entire existence, all the way since draft day. There's a chance that person is a dog and is ready to fucking, tear you apart as well. There's a chance that could happen. That's freedom of speech, freedom of consequence. He could lose his credential. Freedom of consequence. You're allowed to do whatever you got to do. And I think the fact that he continued to relish in it even more, like cutting the promo afterwards, then doing a live stream Q&A on it, like trying to make it even bigger, is only kind of getting the shovel out even more probably in the NFL's eyes. And obviously, I do not recommend any player in the NFL that's getting paid a good amount of money, great amount of money to play football and continue to do so, to go on any show and then just bury the host in the fashion that you would to a friend or to somebody in the locker room or on the field or something like that. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that, but felt like he had a lot to get off his chest, and he certainly did right there in front of the Coniacs.
Well, and I think there are a bunch of teams that have a guy who's super negative, that fans would know, but I don't think there are very many, or were multiple guys in the locker room like, hey, fuck this guy. This guy sucks. But I don't know how many people, writers at least, are doing this type of shit. I feel like that's why he was like, all right, this guy needs to be stopped.
Mark Madden was trying to fight a couple people. But he's not credentialed. He's not in the locker room every single day. I think he could.
What would Mark Madden think about this, though, you think?
Probably love it.
I don't know what he probably thinks Cohn's a mark.
Hey, you think Kinlaw ran this by the Niners PR squad that he was going on the show?
Hey, NFL credential, you guys think he's okay? So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on this one too. Let me go ahead. How quickly? What was Grant Cohn's intro to that? Joining me now is San Francisco 49er, Javon Kinlaw. Yeah. Let's get to it. Hey, you're the worst human on earth. Is basically what Kinlaw tried to say to him there. How about Grant Cohn's? What's that mean? I love it. I fucking love it. I would assume he's going to grow from this, though. But what were you about to say there whenever I said, hey, players, we do not recommend doing this. We do not think this is the right way to do it, but certainly had some shit to get off his chest, and it feels like everybody felt the same exact way that he did?
Well, I think it was it Solomon Thomas in his tweet mentioned, like, makes players, like, treats them like animals or makes them sound like animals, like terrible things. I would imagine a lot of the, the critical things that this guy has said about players have crossed over into like very personal, like attacks on them as people, as humans, not just on the football field.
I would assume. I mean, because he said in there, I'm a human just like you. He said, I am a human just like you. And
guys aren't scared. Like NFL guys, professional athletes, people think they're sensitive. Yeah, sure. A lot of guys are somewhat sensitive, but they're not. Like they respect people that do their job and are professional and are consistent too. Like, even guys that may have, like, a lot of people may not like a whole lot in the media, if people respect what they do or they think that person works hard and that person's authentic and they're actually doing it because they love it, guys respect it, man. Like they're okay with it, I think.
I'll be intrigued to see what the reaction is to Grant Cohn, in that building now that he's allowed in there, when he is openly on the record said, I thought I was going to get multi-millions of dollars from Kinlaw and just retire because I pissed him off so bad and said so many terrible things. It's like, you rat. What are you?
Yeah.
Why are you? What
is he going to try to trip walking into the facility next time he goes into?
Yeah, it sounds like his dad was pretty successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely not.
Now I gotta work. Okay. Now I still gotta work. The guy that was homeless is who he's doing this to at one point. This fucking guy. What a guy.
Niners are probably like, all right, this is perfect. 2 birds, 1 stone. We get to take this kid's credentials away. And for the first time in 6 months, people aren't talking about Deebo Samuel possibly being a 49er.
Is Trey Lance going to be good? Or what? Is Jimmy going to be traded? Is Deebo Samuel coming back? No. Let's talk about this guy that I think everybody doesn't like.
Yeah, and how everyone's on Javon Kinlaw's side in the Niners, no matter what. Really,
are people are going to, who are going to attack us? Other media members are going to attack us?
Who though?
No, because I saw not a lot.
Who's not going to like this?
Real media members won't support this guy and how he's doing.
I saw.
Who's not going to like what we just did right here? Because no other show is doing what we just did. Obviously, to lay out why this guy stinks and why you should probably be on Javon's side. I don't think so. I don't think anybody else is doing that because it's a member of the media. So it's almost like hey, he's one of us. This could be us next time. Like that's how people think. I know if a motherfucker gets so mad at a conversation in this show and we get into it, I know I'm not suing. So I'm not really worried about shit. So we can bury saying the fact that this guy's goal was to sue somebody. It's not like it's going to come back and bite me in the ass where other people might be. It might happen to you.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. It might be, what would you do? What would you do? Like that. Like that's not how we're going. But who is on Cohn's side? Is it just the Coniacs?
Yeah. Other marks?
All right. All right, let's get to a break. I'm happy we did that. That was good. I enjoyed that.
I can't believe I didn't see any of that.
The last few days, man, it's only been like 3 days.
I saw the name. I saw Kinlaw trending, and I didn't read anything about it.
I wanted to wait until to learn what had happened because I saw that initial video where he.
I knew right away from seeing the first video when Kinlaw was on there. I was like, oh, the whole team hates this guy.
Yes, sure. Yes, the whole team has talked about how much this guy is disliked in the locker room. Now, there is a difference. We are not against critical journalists.
No.
But we are against those thugs. Okay? And that's what Grant Cohn is to the media. He's a credentialed media member, and he's in there just riling up, looking for a goddamn lawsuit. This is his first thought. Can't have it.
Can't have it.
Bullshit.
But I assume he's going to be great on the internet for some time, and I'm excited to watch him because anybody that has that ability to not only get credentialed, but also piss off an entire locker room, going to be successful, I assume.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have to kind of just witness it happen. We're back in 4, answer some more phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. Can't wait to hear what people want to chat about. We'll also talk about, the big-time breaking news.
Well, the Virginia state senator who is not...
Bingo. There's big-time breaking news. State senator. Not a senator of Virginia. He's a state senator in Virginia. There's 40 of them in Virginia, as opposed to a senator for Virginia, which there's only 2. 1 of 40 in Virginia, a Democratic state senator said, I was a fan of the old team. I'm not a fan of the new team.
Wait, what?
We'll get to it on either side. It's the Pat McAfee Show. Now it's time for SmackDown Rumble Championship Weekend. We just had another Super Boost!
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking 3-day run. I'm lucky to live this life, and I'm thankful that you all watch.
Hey, here we go! All the wins. Yeah. Gotta get a no call to quit. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out of the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of it. You might get my home. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Please work with us, Jelly. Hey, my dude.
No, squeeze the bike. Yeah.
Wow, that's what I was trying to do.
All right, well, see you later.
I have a good try.
I'm giddy. I am so pumped. It's like the night before the first day of school when you were a kid. I know it's being said that the GOAT of the NFL, Tom Brady, is retiring. Well, the GOAT of the WWE, Roman Reigns, is in his prime at his peak. Hey, happy birthday! Happy birthday! All right, our sources haven't confirmed whether or not Drew McIntyre can be standing up, but come on, Cole! Come on, Cole! Feel it, Cole!
You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Cold train that's gone to the sky.
I'm dangerous, they don't wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes, the opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement, get your hands out of my bag. I know this because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. Guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket, you still got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them.
Oh, fuck you, Pin.
Cole, that is one of the worst of all time.
The worst porters of all time.
And a baby Foxy! Just so everybody knows, it is noon right now.
Chameleon gold and magenta jacket. Big Cuban link, obviously good launch, pinky chain. Gold-plated Steve Madden.
When I woke up this morning in beautiful St. Louis, the air smelled better, food tasted better. Tonight dreams come true, surprises are in abundance. It's Royal Rumble, let's go!
It is an honor to see the man.
Once your ratings get this low, then I'll come to Buffalo.
That's why you're a good guy.
A jackass has entered the Royal Rumble. Jack, good to see Wee Man is still alive after Brock Lesnar put him through a Four Seasons table last night. He is dressed like a jackass, he is a jackass, and he's in the Royal Rumble. He looks good, it sounds good. St. Louis is ready. The alpha male of our species is infuriated. Jump over the rope bed, buddy. You got 2 tours. You got fans, you got music to make. You want to poop your pants immediately? Be in the Royal Rumble when this man is announced. I'm buying all of the Depends that they have because Brock Lesnar, after a brutal fight with Bobby Lashley, comes into the Royal Rumble. It is an absolute ass-kicking machine. We just had another Super Boost. Back to back. Back to back.
Hey, welcome back to the show. I feel good about what we just did there, AJ. That's journalism.
Oh, yeah.
That is.
We just did journalism about journalism from an angle that no other journalism will be done.
Hell yeah.
Well said.
Does this guy write for somebody?
Yeah. More information's coming. They're holding a press conference right now, him and his dad. His dad's Twitter bio reads, telling hard truths for what?
I was looking it up. What was his name, Nick? I was just looking it up.
His Twitter, I guess his dad has been like a super critical journalist for a long time, really, in the game. So Grant kind of grew up in it. And once again, cannot stress this enough. We are not against those critical journalists.
No.
But we are against those thugs. Okay? That's what we're talking about, the credentialed ones. The ones that are in the building doing that thing. Like, that's a different relationship. It's difficult. You're getting access to things that nobody else gets access to. You're being held in a certain standard whenever you do such a thing. To be combative and try to get sued is quite an interesting way to do that. Not saying that you can't do that style of journalism. Do whatever you got to do. But him having direct access into the building, I feel like is the biggest deal, is what we're saying.
The father... the father, who was a sports columnist for the San Francisco Chronicle and Santa Rosa Press, currently has a book that is titled Gloves Off, 40 Years of Unfiltered Sports Writing.
Okay.
Whoa.
So, by the way, respect. Do what you got to do. For somebody to do that for 40 years, incredible. Good luck on the book. It's the credential issue. That is the big thing. So, I just, hopefully they figure that out, AJ Hawk.
We'll see. I mean, that guy... I guess he'll walk into that locker room again. There's no way he can actually hide from there if he keeps his credential.
They have to take his. I mean, it's gonna have to happen.
No one's gonna do anything to him. Players aren't gonna touch him. They know better. But
they
still,
won't.
It's an awkward situation.
They won't. But it is an awkward situation. And now I got people tweeting me saying that because I guess he hit the guy's hat off. Grant Cohn's hat got hit off his head by Javon at the practice the next day.
No.
And now they're saying that if you're on his side, you're on, media members being attacked. It's like he was on a FaceTime whenever he buried him, okay? Just absolutely buried him. When he walked behind him, he said at the facility, didn't sound like he hit him or touched him or anything like that. So we are not saying, if something that we don't know about has happened where he was harmed or something like that, not about it. Not about it. Do not like it. Don't have it happen. But... it will be uncomfortable every fucking day of his life in that locker room. I mean, uncomfortable it will be, AJ.
It sounds like that's what he wants, though. Like, he thrives in that role. That's what he's trying to carve. He's been trying to carve that role for a while. It sounds like he's trying to really get a foothold on it right now.
You want to fucking push me, huh? Go ahead. Big fucking tough guy, huh? You want to push me? Fucking do it. Fucking hit me right in the face.
Does he think he's Romy?
I will retire tomorrow! He called me a non-journalist, this guy. So then they made a kicker joke, and Dad said, so not a football player. Okay? Not a football player. Neither are you. But a football player would beat the fuck out of both of us. Okay? And I understand that, and you don't. And that is the vast difference in everything there. And I do believe we do some journalism. We did some journalism right there.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Contracts are reported differently because...
and if they're doing those hack jokes right there, I ain't worried about nothing from that crew, ever. Oh, he's a kicker, not a football player. 40 years been doing this. I mean, that's not clever at all. These guys stink. I thought we were potentially going to get into it. I thought, because they were prepping for a response to us in his Q&A that he's currently doing on his OnlyFans, I believe. Is this his OnlyFans? It's on his YouTube. You got to pay, though, I believe, right? Okay, so he's doing a $5 per question Q&A on YouTube, which I did not know existed.
Per question? There's super fan things, right, where you can pay to do stuff?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a super fan thing, I guess, is what Zito just said. Somebody asked about us, though. We are in queue. Zito synced it as we were going into the break, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Is this about to become something? It's a kicker joke. All right.
There you go.
Come on. All right, dude. Anyways, we feel very comfortable in the side that we have taken because we have been there, done that. We understand the importance of the media. We understand the importance of the football team getting along with the media. We understand they can be critical, but also you can't just be a jackass and abuse the responsibility that you have to cover the team from within. So you do what you got to do on the internet alongside your dad. Hopefully you have 40 years of success. Congratulations. Just not in the fucking building. Let's move on. 5-hour energy phone line. Let's dive right into Alex in California. Alex, what's going on, pal?
Hey, boys. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good.
Yeah.
A little bit more positive there. Yeah. That was good.
All right. I just want to say thanks for calling into my show, and I'll get right into it.
Okay. Alex in California show. Good. Here we go. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I needed that. The other day you had on alien extraordinaire Mike Gallagher on, and there was some speculation about Gallagher running for president with a possible vice president from the future. Are you and the people of FanDuel worried about the time travelers just absolutely running the table in the sports betting world?
Just real quick, I think they're the ones that are. Thank you. Hey, great show, Alex. You had a good show.
Hey, baby, Alex.
Good boy, Alex.
Alex, California, just had his first show on this show, and I'm fucking happy for him.
What do you mean by that?
So the time travel folks would obviously be able to come back and bet against baseball. They did that in Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah.
Back to the Future. You know the results, you'd be able to see it, you'd be able to bet on it, take FanDuel's money. Now, he acted as if we would care if somebody was taking FanDuel's money. We would not. We would actually hope for that person to tell us exactly what they're doing so we could also take FanDuel's money and betting against them, because it is a game, us versus them at all times. Need to remember that. They are trying to beat you. You need to be trying to beat them as well. FanDuel is incredibly convenient. It's nice. Good people run it, but good people are trying to beat you. You need to try to beat those good people.
That's right.
Now, there is quite a theory out there, especially with how fucking accurate some predictions are being made by sports books, that maybe the old time travel situation's already taken place and it's in the sports gambling world. And it's not somebody taking the sports book. Guess what? It is the sports books themselves. Like that Irish lad, John.
Sheeran.
Son of a bitch.
What?
He's a good guy, but he's giving us losers and he's beating me pretty bad.
That's right.
I'm getting back on the good side, but I think the time travel thing would be on the other side, AJ.
What do you mean?
They fucking predict shit that isn't supposed to be predictable.
Yeah, to the half point.
You could change the future, right?
What's that?
If you come back, or if you come back from the future, you come back, you can do things that would change what the world looks like moving forward.
There's an entire, I guess.
Ricky Gervais just dived into this. Actually.
Yeah, because you've changed one thing, you change everything. Ricky Gervais did?
Yeah, he did. He said if you go back and, possibly a lot of people say they go back, kill baby Hitler. Yeah. But then when you get back to the present, something even more terrible could have happened. And
probably, if I had to guess what he
changed,
said.
Everything.
That's probably what he said. Could have happened, yeah. Ricky Gervais is a deep-thinking lad.
Yeah, watch that stand-up.
He's pissed off a lot of people with that stand-up. He does not care, though. Introed himself. You guys were fantastic. Walks right off, gone into his car. See you later. I'm going to go write 2 more series, probably another movie or 2, make hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars off them because they're better than basically everything else, and then I'll move on. And all you people that love The Office, you're welcome. Still making money in perpetuity off of that.
Yep.
I mean, he's an interesting human that they will study. He pissed off a lot of folks with his most recent.
Well, even if he did, it was still funny.
Well, from what I heard,
seen it yet.
Yeah, from what I heard in there was a couple that he said probably should take it out, and then he left it in there.
No, didn't care.
People are wondering if it was an editing mistake or if that's what was kind of the whole.
I figured, after he sat down to edit it, because I assume he edited it himself, because he also introduced himself, that he just said, you know what, I don't really feel like editing. I'll just fucking send it in anyway.
Yeah, because I heard in there he said Netflix already paid, so fuck them.
Yep, exactly.
I heard he actually said that.
Yeah, and that joke also hit. He also explained comedy very well to start it off.
I did hear he went down the whole time. Yeah. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Andrew in Ohio. Andrew, what's going on the 5 Energy phone line?
What's going on, boys? How you doing?
Hey,
doing
good. How are you? AJ, how you doing?
Great.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Hey, what up, AJ? I'm actually in Kettering right now. I'm at work right now.
That's where I was born, man.
Sloan Kettering?
Hell yeah, man.
Kettering used to be, Kettering used to be, it's next to Centerville. It's near Centerville. I believe McGillicuddy's used to be in Kettering, right?
The doctor?
What?
Dr. McGillicuddy's?
No.
You go to McGillicuddy's?
Booze brand.
A bar, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cash's bar, used to be.
Oh.
I've had plenty of cocktail in that place.
Yeah.
Great breadsticks, good pizza, family atmosphere. Right there in Kettering, I believe, right, AJ?
I don't know if it's considered Kettering or Centerville or whatever, but yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. Great area there. No, the McGillicuddy's isn't around. I don't know how it's doing, but I mean, it was much better when that place was there. I was drunk in that parking lot a few times, having a good time. Anyways, what's going on, Andrew? What do you want to talk about?
I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on the Celtics game last night. I know
game
Connor
stunk.
has got to be pretty
The game
pleased.
stunk, Andrew. The game stunk. Didn't you think so?
Hey, man. I thought that it was pretty boring, yes, but I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm pretty pleased with the outcome.
Think you guys are going to go or no?
I would love it. I mean, it has been a really, really long time. So, I mean, I would love it if we could just go to one. That would just be a lot for the young group.
All right, Andrew, thank you for your call. As a Celtics fan, Connor, we talked earlier in the show, probably a brand new listener and brand new watchers to the show have arrived. That game stunk.
So bad.
So bad.
Can I ask a question, though, quick?
Go ahead.
Before you get into it, did any of Connor's COVID situations play out?
No. Well, we don't know.
So it was all behind the scenes, if so.
Yes.
No active players.
But we don't know. The countdown show, they're competing against each other, right? So even if you're not watching the game, the countdown show, if you want to bet on it, like I would like to bet on the game and not watch the entirety of the game, I might watch some other things and then bounce into the game, bounce out of the game. Might finish Young Rock from Tuesday.
Sure.
Last night, watched the season finale.
What was it?
Come
on. Oh, no.
No, it was a great episode. Great.
Amazing.
Okay.
Wait, it was on last night?
Huh?
It was on last
It
night?
was on Tuesday, but obviously Tuesday,
was
something
on
very
Tuesday.
serious happened in the world where a breaking news report happened in the middle of it, so I caught up with it on Wednesday.
I just heard that it was going to be on a different night.
Well, yeah, it is thinking about moving to a Friday. What the fuck are you doing? Hey,
What?
NBC, enough with the fuckery, okay? Keep Young Rock on the day that it is. Friday's for SmackDown.
Oh, they're going up against SmackDown?
Going against SmackDown.
What the hell's that about?
Is dead.
What is that about?
Good run.
I'm not happy about it.
Good run, Young Rock.
I'm not happy about it. It's fucking good show. It's a good show, by the way. Young Rock is a great show. Happy they picked it up for season 3. Don't like that it's going to Friday at 8.
Yeah, it's dead.
Fucking relax, Peacock. Golly. Anyways.
I'm trying to do TGIF again. Get that going.
Well, we already got it with SmackDown. So moving on. As I don't watch the entirety of the game. I just bounce back and forth. I apologize. I probably should watch more of the game so I can get good trends and become a better gambler. But I've been watching the pre-shows because there's Emmy Award-winning shows and there's a lot of talent on those pre-shows. And also, if I want to bet on it and I don't know much about it other than what Connor lies about every single day with the Boston Celtics, I can get the information from there. Man, there was not a single piece of info last night. And I understand that there's very serious things happening in the world and changing the world, but man, I lost every single bet other than Al Horford with the over because I didn't know if anybody was playing. I didn't know that half of the people on the court were going to be running at about like 30-35%. I had no idea that Victor Oladipo was going to forget how to shoot after having one of the best games he's ever had and after owning Indiana multiple times in college and as a Pacer. I thought he was all the way back. So what I'm saying is I didn't have a lot of information going into the game. Then while I was watching the game, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with Jimmy Butler? Like, what percentage is Jimmy Butler at? He's got to be hurt. It was just like, it felt like the whole night was just, it was tough to kind of keep up with. And the Celtics get a win, but I don't think the Celtics have proved to anybody that they have any chance against the Western Conference champions.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see just because there's no one in the Western Conference that like plays defense the way the Celtics and Heat do. I mean,
what do you think? You think Luka's scared of that if he doesn't get in there?
I mean, I'm not going to. Luka's unbelievable, but he the strategy for the teams playing the Mavericks is attack Luka because he's not fantastic at defense. But that was kind of how the series was supposed to go. But anyone who
the quicker they score, the quicker he gets the ball back.
That's a great point. And doing a score game against the Warriors usually doesn't end up well for you. But
anybody, 1-1, who knows? That game's tonight, right?
We'll see. Yeah, 3-1. They might get closed out. 20. But something's wrong with Jimmy Butler. It's not even like how he's playing. It's
but we don't know. Why don't we know?
Well, because they didn't really give us any updates. But I think that's why the line was different. Is because I'm sure the people who are inside the building know he had a knee flare up. He missed the second half of one of the games, and then he came back and played the next game.
9 tomorrow.
Listen, I know the game is boring, but man, I fucking love the clips that come out of the NBA. Some of the athleticism that is displayed on a nightly basis over there is just so. I like watching people compete. I like watching people that put in an infinite amount of hours in their life to get to the point that they're at, to do the things that they're doing, that they make it look effortless. But this Eastern Conference final, Diggs said it yesterday, it's being talked about as maybe the worst in the history.
Both of them.
Every game
the whole series?
Every game stinks.
So remember the round before this was great. Every series was pretty much great. And then you get into these finals And obviously the Warriors go up 3-0, so that's never great for it. And then the other one, yeah, it's 2-2 or 3-2 now, sorry. But every game has been an absolute blowout, or like last night, ended up being a blowout. In the first half, they scored fucking 60 points in the entire half.
Looked like college basketball at times last night. Maybe even high school basketball at some points.
Yes,
Multiple series. Like Jimmy Butler has to be hurt. Misses air ball is a layup. I mean, we're talking like comedy of airs. Victor Oladipo, nobody around him. Just wide open. Victor Oladipo, great basketball player. Saw him at the Pacers, saw him at IU. This is not a burial of Victor Oladipo. He was supposed to be all the way back, scored 18 points the other day or something like that, had a couple steals. He's all the way back. I was excited for him as a person that came from Indiana. He had a wide open look, not even close to the rim, okay? They get the ball back. He gets another one. Normally, professional athlete, professional shooter, you have one that's off. It's like, okay, I know exactly what happened. It's
like a second tee shot.
Bingo, like a mulligan. You get a mulligan. Same outcome, maybe worse. Same outcome, maybe worse. It's like, what the fuck? And then Jimmy Butler happens, and then there was some other stuff. I'm like, what is going on? They just all have to be hurt. Everybody has to be hurt, I'd assume, at this point. And it's almost like, who can last to the end? And the healthiest team is going to end up winning this entire thing.
Yeah, exactly, which is the Warriors, unfortunately. But, I mean, yesterday was the 5th game of the series, and in the first quarter, the Heat took the lead from the Celtics, and that was only the 5th lead change in the entire series. So if you start out...
It's just been runaways.
Yeah, it's just been runaways. And yesterday was the close one, but like Tony said, there were 70 points in the first half. Like, it was just dog shit basketball.
They ended up winning by 13. There was a boost on FanDuel for the spread to be more than 15. It was like plus 3 something, I think.
420.
420 plus 420 of the boost. They were up 17. Line change. Everybody comes in. They win by 13. That boost doesn't hit for everybody. Somehow time travel to Cuzzy's Point in California.
So hard to bet like basketball because it's such a game of runs. You could be getting beat by 40 and you come back and win the game or lose by 2.
Actual.
Like it happens all the time. Like that's why it's fun to watch the last like 4 minutes of each game.
Yeah, well, it's a great live bet sport because if one team's just down by a shit ton and they have great odds just to win the game, it's like, all right, I'll just put money line.
And then also you get great live spreads.
I was going to say,
I got Miami plus 23.5 in the second quarter the other day. Plus 23.5 live bet. By the way, won by 20. So I mean, I covered, but not by a lot.
No,
I would say.
Hey, do the Celtics or Heat have a big national following? Either of those teams?
Celtics, I think. Yeah.
I mean, the brand name, is there.
You're talking about are the fans, or is it that people know about them, or are they actual like diehard fans across?
Not
the
even
country?
diehard, but like there's like national brands that people want to see. I would imagine the Celtics are one of those brands. Obviously, the Warriors. People that are casual fans, like, I'll turn it on and see what these guys are doing.
And if we're having that conversation, and I love the way Tyler Hero looked last night on a corner. I love Jimmy Butler, absolute dog. I love that team. But I would assume the NBA is hoping for Celtics Warriors. In this particular setting, I would assume the NBA is hoping.
I will
for sure.
And a little gambling thing, real quick on FanDuel right now, you could get the Warriors to win the NBA Finals at minus 150. Celtics are plus 130, or Celtics up 3-2 going home and they're 9-point favorites. You could take Golden State Warriors to beat the Boston Celtics in the finals, minus 110. So I'll get a little more juice for yourself.
Hey, that's how you're beating the book, by the way.
A little bit.
That's how you're beating FanDuel, which is what we're always trying to do.
And you assume if Boston closes it out tomorrow night, Warriors close it out tonight, Warriors are probably, I think, going to be more than minus 110 in the finals.
So you're saying if you do that, you get better odds for basically the same bet.
Yeah.
Which is something that happened last night on the internet. There's a plus 1,045.
I believe so.
That was being offered at plus 550 or something like that.
A different book, yeah.
Interesting.
As a boost.
I'm telling you, people know. You know, that's why every time we talk to like FanDuel and we try to pitch things, and something gets said or whatever, everybody on the call is like, "Nah, people will know. People will know if this isn't a proper enough boost. This is not a good boost. We cannot promote this," is what we say. And then they like, all right, we'll go back to the drawing board. They come back, and it's kind of been a good thing. But as the world continues to venture into this new space, how many of those decisions are gonna happen, and how many of those will be acceptable, and how many of those will be, you know what I mean? Like, when you talk about gambling right now, it's crazy, the wave. You know, it's crazy what's happening in it.
Unfortunately for people that are placing the bets, the gamblers, like the people making the lines are only going to get better and better, right? Like,
but so are the gamblers.
That's right.
So
So are the gamblers.
Come on.
We're good gamblers.
Did you hear what Tone just fucking said?
Fucking gamblers.
I understand Goop and your 4 chains and your sweet hat and glasses. You're a great gambler, but I'm saying competition.
And a shirt.
Iron sharpens iron, right, Pat? We always say that. So they know, hey, we're in the this is the beginning stages of this online sports gambling we're seeing. They're going to have to get a lot of people on their side too.
In April, I think $1.1 billion handle in New York.
Yep, alone.
Just in April.
Yeah.
What do they get, like 60% of that for taxes?
No, I don't think so. 50% tax, 50% to the government after the take or something. Believe me, every time I screenshot that and I send it to the FanDuel people. Like, yeah, you guys congrats.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
And then I send it to them again, and they're like, there's a lot that goes into that number, Pat. Okay? We are not just taking that amount of money. It's gambling. We are also losing a lot of those. Please, thank you very much. So it's fascinating to see how it works. I'll be interested to see which state they make the most money off of, because that state would be the worst gamblers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Is that going to happen?
It could change year to year, right?
Month to month. That could change, I would assume.
Yeah, for sure.
Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania, like, I wonder if it's like super up during the NFL. Like, NHL, NFL, Pennsylvania, pretty bad. And then you get into the NBA season, it's like, come on, Pittsburgh money. Come on, Pittsburgh money. I wonder if that's like an actual tell in a read.
For sure. And if, like, say the Steelers have a month where they lose 4 in a row or something like that, the city of Pittsburgh is going to lose a lot of money because all these homers are just betting on their home team every time.
And quick follow-up, it actually was stated by the book that our worst gambler is literally because he bets on Boston everything to win every single time. And I assume you are you're in the majority of how people gamble.
No matter what, I will always take the Boston teams. And unfortunately, we have 4 seasons of teams, so I have to take every single day.
We're in this together. Bruins, Celtics,
What?
Pats,
What?
Sox,
What?
you and me this year.
Revolution.
Of course.
Yep.
MLF.
Methy's coming. It's going to be something that we've never seen before. I already picked up from Tim Howard, who joined us for the first time. Big Rig Maroon has already invited us to a game next series with a keg afterwards, potentially. AJ Hawk, you were fantastic. Tone Diggs, can't wait to watch Hammer Dahn today with you and Goompy. And then all the boys in the back, great work. Ty and Connor, I appreciate you. To everybody that listened, you're the best. We will see you in 21 hours. Chris Mad Dog Russo's next.
Ooh.
Well done.
Whoa.
Well done.
Put that one in the rafters.
Grant Cohn would have done it better.
What did you say?
Frank Cohn?
Grant, I thought.
Oh, I thought you said Frank. Because we got Frank around here.
Oh, yeah.
Just like Al Bundy today.
Hey, that dude, I'm sure Frank knows. I saw Frank's clip. I saw some of the game. I know the Abs lost in overtime, which is a heartbreaker.
Oh.
But that dude McKinnon going coast to coast, somehow scoring. Are you serious?
Disgusting.
Absolute stud.
That was in overtime?
hat trick, dude. No, that was to put
To
them
go up 4-3.
Yeah, to go up.
2
Would
minutes
have been
left.
the game winner.
He's
but-
got the slickest mitts on the ice.
Not more than McDavid. We actually just heard that, but I understand McKinnon, a couple Irishmen.
That's right.
Really taking over fucking hockey there. That's a shame for hockey talk, Nick.
It's our game.
A couple really electrifying goals as of late. Somebody scored from, 3/4 ice?
Yeah. Calgary.
To tie it or to send it to overtime?
it.
In a Stanley Cup playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody shoots at 3/4 of the ice, top Ched, over the
Yeah.
shoulder of the goalie. What the fuck? The goalie did afterwards to tie it. That was insane. And then that team would go on to win, so the goalie's obviously very thankful, and let's move on. Let's not talk about it. That happens. Then somebody goes coast to coast. McDavid had this one, he quadruple deked everybody on the team, and then the goalie got it as well. I think that's why Patty Maroon wants to talk to him. Hockey's having a pretty good run right now.
Yeah.
Real
Love
good run.
hockey.
Real
It's a
good
shame
run.
it's dead on this show.
Yeah, it would have been nice if
No,
at
we're
least
back.
one.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
Go Boats.
And Avs.
We
have
want
one
both
on
Avs.
both
That's
sides.
what
Both Avs.
Well, the Avs are losing, it sounds like.
We're still up in the series.
Yeah.
I mean, can we get fucking Jackie Johnson some goddamn ice time, maybe?
He has gotten some time.
Well, listen, the Big Rig has come on here and he's wooed me over.
Yeah.
I am with Tampa.
Go Boats.
Yeah, go
Go
Boats.
Boats.
So they've won 2 in a row, right?
Yeah.
Who?
2
Tampa.
series in a
Tampa.
row.
No, it's won
Hey,
two
how about
cups in a
this?
row.
Here's a stat that I was told by Bruce Brown before
2
coming on
cups.
the show. Patty Maroon has won 14 straight playoff series.
Pretty
I
good.
want to sign this guy up.
Yeah, you want this guy on your team. St. Louis, American hockey player, fucking guy.
Yes,
Let's go.
please.
Bring him to Boston.
Pittsburgh.
No.
He's with the Boats for another year after this year.
Maybe.
Yeah, Boston's about to back it up for him.
No, Pittsburgh's going to do it. We need Patty Maroon.
He's coming to Hockey Town. Stevie Y knows him well.
Congrats on your career being over.
Yeah. Have fun.
Okay, have fun, man. We'll never see you play hockey again. It was a lot of fun. You're electrifying. You're physical. You got the angles. You can shoot. Yeah. Go off into a wasteland that is never on TVville.
Yeah, Stevie Y doesn't actually know him at all. Tampa started winning all the cups once Stevie Y left.
And Patty Maroon went there after leaving St.
Won
Louis.
because of Stevie Y. Nick knows that.
No, Patty Maroon is the reason why they won. It sounds like he's the X factor. You
Can't
want to win a
lose.
cup in the 2020 era? Fucking bring in Patty the Big Rig Maroon.
He's going to be on a fucking line with Stoner and McJesus next year in Vegas. So
McJesus is coming to Pittsburgh as well.
I don't know.
How's
I heard he's
right.
Vegas.
No, they have to bring him to Pittsburgh because Malkin's coming to Boston.
Don't you fucking dare.
Sorry.
He wouldn't.
That's what's happening.
He said he hates it there.
Yeah, he said this.
Where's Sid gonna play?
Pittsburgh.
Boston.
Shut up, AJ.
Similar colors.
Exactly. He's only going to play in the fucking gold and black.
Hey, brah. Sidney Crosby ain't going nowhere.
I don't know.
Go to Vegas.
You don't know.
No.
Yeah.
What?
So him and Stoner?
Oh, AJ. Knock it off, dude. Come on.
You kidding me? In that
Stoner
point?
plays 5 games a year.
Come on.
AJ.
Don't get me too excited.
Stoner's got cement in his
Bomb.
skins.
Let's do it.
I know, right?
Knock it off.
Vegas can afford the fucking
Fucking
players they
AJ.
have, AJ.
AJ,
Best
knock it
pregame
off.
Come
show.
on, dude.
Fucking Oscar De La
Let's do it,
Hoya.
Ty.
I know.
Beat that guy in pool.
Who are you? You did, and you are not a champion pool player.
No.
I've learned a lot about Oscar De La Hoya's billiard skills through watching you play
Wow.
in Brooklyn at 3 a.m. against a couple of locals. If you beat Oscar De La Hoya, that guy has a problem even picking up a goddamn stick. at this point.
No. When we were playing the Big O, I was fucking locked in. I was
What?
shaping shots. I was doing the whole entire thing,
He
okay?
beat Oscar De La Hoya in billiards at a bar in Long Island.
Yep.
When?
February, and he was playing with the assistant coach for the Islanders, and I am not kidding. His name is John Gruden, and it was John Gruden and Oscar De La Hoya,
Verse.
me and one of my pals, the lads, and we
How was
fucking
Oscar?
beat their ass.
How did Oscar do?
Pretty good, not fucking good enough, huh?
Connor's not a good billiards player either. Not good. Like, shoot, not good.
I'm a streaky billiards player.
I mean, Oscar's had an interesting post-fight career.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
well, I've learned a lot about him through Dana White's voice.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
You know, that's something.
Dana's
Dana
certainly
really
not a
censors
huge
himself
fan.
when he talks about it.
Connor,
Uses a lot of chalk.
just real quick, were you Brooklyn? That's what loves the smell of it from what Dana's saying, but we don't know. We have no idea. I don't know if Connor saw him do this or not. That night I saw you playing pool.
Yeah.
Worst night you've ever played pool, or
Not the worst. I've definitely been worse, but like we were having fun with all the lads. We were out chilling. I mean,
I just sent in a video of how good he is, actually.
halfway
Wait,
through
Oscar, where's this
De La Hoya?
video?
No, Connor.
halfway through the game, I was running outside to join the SIG crew, who were hacking darts. So half my mind was out
Oh,
there,
only
half my
outside?
brain was not only inside, but
Is that mystical being that whooped Connor's ass in this video?
dude, I'm watching this video live from
he
this
flew
bar.
away. He's in heaven again. Goddamn fucking angel that
This
guy
dude had a
was.
hard hat on in 6.
He was awesome.
Missed every ball. It was
Not every
This
ball.
is one of the most
Who
inside
were you
thing we
with,
have done.
Connor?
Well,
With
the
us.
worst shot I've
Tony
ever
Z.
seen in my life.
It was so bad. That was not. He hit a ball that time, dude. They
Wait,
got wins.
was it really Oscar De La Hoya?
That
No,
was
yeah,
a different time. Not
different
the time.
time.
where- This is him. This is like 2:30, probably 3 a.m. at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Maybe 4.
Where is this?
Brooklyn.
It's definitely 3.
Fucking bang, one ball went in there. Ball went in.
It was awesome.
Let's go. We
Dude,
fucking ran the table that night.
Yeah.
Try to pause. Try to
fucking
pause
did.
this thing when it turns that way. Try to pause it. When
I used to have a picture of that guy.
try to pause it when it turns that. Pause.
Oh,
There he
There he
is.
is.
There he is. That guy in the corner.
See?
That guy was a fucking shark. This
so
guy
good.
right here. He was
Is this
waiting.
a bar?
Yeah, he was waiting
Wait,
for Connor
the Jack
and Foxy.
guy you mean?
No. He's also
Gandalf.
good.
Yellow.
This guy right here with the face not being able to be seen. Every photo that's taken of him, he has a blurry face because this guy is a mythical creature at billiards. He fucking ran the tape. Shot weird too. I'm talking like.
Wait, but hold on. No, hold on. No, did he not sign the waiver? Why is his face blurred?
That's because that's who he is.
Because
he
he's a
might be a
guardian
ghost.
angel.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not a human
not
being.
So it just shows up
blurred.
this way in video.
Bro, this guy fucking floated into the bar
Yeah.
while Evan and Connor were playing, and we were a little boozed up, obviously, at this
But-
point. 3:30.
He was a
He floated up
Yeah.
the stairs, okay, and then he grabbed the stick And he was like, we got next or whatever, and it was somebody else. And obviously at this stage, we were all pretty loose, chit-chatting about everything. And we knew the boys were dead. Southpaw just fucking buries every shot almost.
Couldn't miss.
He was a Revolutionary War general like 300 years ago.
Look at this shot.
And he just fucking comes back and plays pool.
That was a
every night.
terrible shot.
That was a sad.
That's a bad shot.
He was just trying to get out of the way because that's the last ball.
Oh, yeah, that was the 8 ball. They're 3 balls ahead of Connor and Foxy at
Yeah.
this point, alternating shot. He was just setting that thing up.
They diced us, but we won 3 before that.
Yeah, we won 3 before that. It came down to the last ball.
Uh-huh.
So we had a good run.
We were there.
Came down to the last ball.
I don't remember him missing.
Every game of pool could technically come down to the last ball.
Yeah, he made every strike before that, though. It was insane.
Yeah, but technically could come down to the last ball every single time, right?
Yeah, we
Because you
tried.
have to drain the last ball.
No, we had 1 ball left, too.
No, yeah, it was a 1-ball game at the end, but also, that
Even no slop. Connor's probably playing slop all over the place.
What does that mean?
He is playing
like when you don't call your shot.
Hit it as hard as you can and 3 balls go in.
That's what we were doing, actually. When the god, or whoever the hell that guy's name is, when he showed up, he was like, we're calling shots. And that's when me and Fox were like, oh, fuck, all right.
He was real, though, dude.
So what is going on with Oscar De La Hoya?
He's bad at
Just
billiards.
completely different. We're talking about this other guy.
This guy-
I'm just saying. I'm trying to figure out where Oscar plays it.
Oscar probably played at this place 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m.,
What?
7 a.m.
What?
8 a.m., 9 a.m.,
What?
10 a.m.
What?
You know,
Why?
and that was kind of our goal. But literally, the city never sleeps was past that.
Yeah, not true.
We were the only ones awake. We were the only ones walking around. So we
Should
were
have called Schrags if you're in Brooklyn.
What's that? Schrags? Well, he had a Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably hanging out with.
Okay, there's a video from the evening of the guy calling slop on Connor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Connor just waxed the shit out of the ball.
I called that shot. I
3
swear.
bounces. Okay. The guy says, fuck off.
I called that one.
Fuck off. Fuck off. No way. You are not going. Yeah, you're up. We are up. Get the fuck over there. Yes. No way are you taking that shit.
Just bullied him off.
That's what happened. Yeah. Look at you. Yeah.
No.
I think I was on my phone with the wife. Didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, see, I'm
When
going
was
back
that?
out
He's
to
gone. He's
smoke a
not.
dart.
Take a fucking walk. Take a fucking walk.
Did the guy pull his pocket out and lead Connor around, make him hold on to it for a while?
It sure felt like it. That's really what that guy does when he's at the billiards table. I don't know what that means.
No, me neither.
What was that?
Old scared straight back in the day.
Old prison joke, yeah.
You were his
Hold my
Bitch.
pocket.
That's what he's saying. Come on.
All right, Hammer.
No, I'm just saying.
Dahn. He's in 15
To
minutes.
show how much he dominated.
But, I mean, we've told the story numerous times. How confident Connor was to go over to the pool table is what the expectation level that was set. Like, hey, gotta go play pool or whatever. I'm like, oh, it must be a pool player. Here we go. Because there was a lot of people around it at the time when we went over there. There was a lot of people saying next. I mean, it was like you had to go on a chalkboard, I believe, to like put your name on there. CC and EF. Like, it was a big thing. Like, wanted to get in there and battle against the locals. It's like, all right, and we get there. I mean, you were putting balls in the hole. There was a couple scratches out there where you didn't hit a single ball. There's a lot of slop that before the God even got in there, you were just kind of walking off and bullying the locals and doing your whole thing. You got us into trouble a couple times because you were yelling at the ball and they were talking about how we were being loud about everybody. It's like, no, we're talking shit to each other. We're not talking shit to your. And then actually there was a moment where we're like, I mean, we haven't even started talking shit on you guys.
Honest too.
Yeah, it was almost one of those moments. Really I feel like it brought the team together.
Yeah, it was awesome. And there's a reason there aren't a lot of people around that pool table because me and Foxy fucking sent him packing. And if I saw that guy over there before we walked over, I wouldn't have been as confident.
Okay, bearded guy with the blurry face.
Yeah, I mean, he's a god. I don't know of what, but probably pool.
You're awesome.
You guys did take down the European pool shark, though.
We did.
We did. That was also the night we said good gambler. Like,
oh yeah.
That was also the night somebody was trying to steal our shit.
Our jackets.
Yeah. Steal our jackets. Yeah. People just try. My sport coat, we left it at the table before.
Those damn Brits.
Yes. These 2 girls that were obviously incredibly intoxicated. We watched them walk right to our table. They grabbed our jackets, tried to stick them under their jackets, and then were actually walking out. Like, we thought it was like, oh, they got to be fucking with us. It was like 3 jackets. They got to be fucking with us. And then as they were continuing to get closer to the door, it was like, oh, no, there's only 14 people in this bar. Like, we can clearly see you stealing our shit. So we had to go up to like, hey, those are ours. Well, fuck you. Okay.
All right.
All right. So you start to steal our jackets. Yeah, that's how the night ended. That was when everybody was getting kicked out.
Yep.
Fucked up.
Only like literally 10 people probably there that weren't working there. So you see everything that happens, especially if people walk. We saw them pick up our jackets and try to stick them under their jacket. What were they going to do? Sell that jacket? What the fuck was the thought?
We haven't even talked about the DJ having the worst. Like, he played one good
Oh
song.
my God. Are you trying to make this place worse? Are you trying to kick us out of here?
wants to go home.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, yeah.
Is this a bar, club, billiards hall? What is that place?
Just a bar.
Bar, yeah.
With
one pool table.
I haven't played pool forever.
Me neither. I was super excited to get over there. I was like, oh, Connor, because Connor, DTB, he's a downtown boy. He's going out like every single night.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he must be a fucking wizard around there.
Couple pool halls downtown.
Yeah, you're fucking.
You run the table because I'm fucking nasty.
Yeah, you are. You're a champion of billiards.
Fucking billiards champion.
That's a good game that everybody's kind of good at.
Exactly.
Like,
Fun game.
Kind of good. What?
I mean, I stink.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you should be good, right? Good hand-eye dexterity.
Not anymore.
Explosive hips.
We've been over this. My body has failed me. It's done.
No, but that's all a mindset.
Yeah.
Perfect for pool, though.
Yeah,
A lot of fat guys that are good at pool.
See that 90-year-old guy beat the fuck out of Foxy and Connor.
No, but my arm doesn't even go backwards anymore.
What's that, Connor?
What was that about?
I'm not saying.
Oh my God!
I'm not saying.
No,
I'm not saying.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I'm not saying Tony's fat. I'm saying you don't have to be in good shape to be a good pool player.
There you go.
Jeez, I
You
didn't
mean
even think
his heart is stressed.
Tone, you look so good. Tone, you look so good. I didn't even think that was a shot at how fat you were.
It wasn't. It's because it wasn't.
You're a bad guy.
No.
Your first thought is, Tone.
I didn't say
I'm
it.
happy Ty said it. That's basically what you said.
That's bullshit. I never said that. Ty was
That is
the
what
one.
you did.
He was the one alluded to it. I couldn't believe it.
That's not what he was alluding to.
That's not what I was alluding to
Tone,
at all.
You look good. Don't take this
You
shit
do,
from
Tony.
Connor.
You didn't take that personal.
No, but I don't. I mean, I am a piece of shit.
No,
Hey, look what you did.
This is your fault.
Me, I did this. You.
Let's get out of here. This is
Tone needs
disgusting.
more positive self-talk.
Yes.
Come on, Tone.
No,
Yeah,
no.
hey, be
That's
careful.
not who I am.
Tone, be careful what you're telling yourself. You're listening, pal. Yeah. Okay?
I am
you're-
listening.
You're a great fucking U-ball player. Remember that.
Great U-ball
goddamn
player.
right. And a
No,
fucking
I am
great
definitely by
goblin.
far the worst in the league.
No,
that's not
D1 football player. Would have been an Ivy League football player.
Long time ago.
Come on, Tone. Those days aren't that long ago.
Tony.
Come on, Tony.
Like 12 years ago.
Yeah. Perfect time to come back.
Hell yeah.
Lawn looks great.
Yeah, lawn.
Lawn looks great.
Now that's something I am good at.
See? That would go right over to billiards with your lines.
Yeah. Bingo.
Keep that thing straight. I like pool. Pool's a good game.
Yeah, it's fun.
Terrible to have a pool table at your house, though. It's fucking terrible.
It's a waste.
Hey, welcome to the house ornament that'll be with this house until this house falls down because it's 10,000 pounds. I was
right.
forced into getting a pool table. And they tried to pitch it. They were like, we'll even leave the pool table for you. I'm like, oh, very nice. I was young, naive. And then I get in the house. I'm like, I never use it. This room would be better suited to do something else. Can I get this out of here? We're going to need a crane. And it's going to take a while.
To knock your wall down.
Oh, motherfucker. Seriously. Yeah, it's here forever, basically. It's like, I kind of got duped into this. But, it is good to come around every once a year or so. Go to somebody else's place that has it, do your thing. Except for you, it seems like you have never played before that night in Brooklyn.
I play a couple times here and there. Pick them up, put them down, the pool balls and the pool cue.
Why did you say that about Tone Diggs, by the way?
Yeah,
What?
I'm still kind of flabbergasted.
This motherfucker said it. Okay, I was one defending Tone.
No.
Ty's out here.
No.
Fucking burying him.
No.
It's like, geez, Louise, Ty.
I just want to let you know, in my head, okay, you are the bad person in this situation.
Bad guy.
That is bullshit.
Because Ty was
Yes.
not. Ty was not.
taking a shot at Tony at all.
I was not alluding to it. I didn't even think of it in my head. Whenever you were popping over there, I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with Connor?" And then all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, Ty." I'm like, "You're the only person that took that as a shot at Tone Diggs." So you are obviously the one that is the bad person that took the shot to begin with.
That is ridiculous.
Bad guy.
You
Ty
took a
is the
shot
one
through
that-
Ty's mouth at
No,
Tone
Yes.
Diggs.
That's absurd. I came to Tony's defense here.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a hero.
Yeah, well, I'm the one sticking up for him.
You made it a shot, then you defended him. What a fucking hero.
That's bullshit.
From where I'm
Thank
sitting,
you, though.
From where I'm sitting, Connor is not in the wrong here.
Thank you.
Whoa.
This motherfucker.
Who is?
I'm sorry about
Nobody
it,
is.
Tony.
I am.
No,
Tony,
see,
knock
that's
it
off.
No.
Because you're acting that way, it's because the way Connor acted through Ty's mouth.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ty.
You're the one who said it, not me.
You said it. I didn't say much.
You said it more. You put a little underline on it and then an arrow.
No, I put a question mark.
Actually, this is to connect it to your
what?
Your body, Tone. That's what you did. You
These guys
fuck.
are gross.
I just had to excuse me.
I agree.
Anyways, let's move on. Tomorrow will be better.
And why was Oscar De La Hoya ever brought into this?
Because he was at a billiards bar on Long Island alongside the Islanders' assistant coach, and Boston Connor and another lad of his fucking wiped the table with him.
Goddamn right.
Congrats, Connor.
Thank you.
Connor.
Thank you.
Now, you would think after accomplishing such a feat, you would not want to belittle and put down others for any reason at all.
I never would.
So maybe tomorrow we start anew with you not attacking Tone Diggs all the time.
Never have, never
shaming
will.
everybody.
That's unbelievable.
Never have, never will. And plus, it's Feel Good Friday. I've never once been toxic on a Friday.
How about it already being Friday tomorrow? This week has flown by.
It has.
It's fucking June next week.
How many days till NFL football?
Well, 104 in 8 hours, maybe. I don't know the exact math.
What a day for you, Connor.
Great day. Great day.
We did some journalism today as well. I'm proud of it. We'll be back tomorrow. Can't thank you all enough. Hammer down in 15 minutes.
Yep.
YouTube.com/Hammer down. See you then. Bye.